All right, guys, welcome back to the Hunter Base Podcast. What do Maverick Hunters do when they're not hunting Mavericks? They come back to the base, shoot the shit, and recharge. I said that in the wrong order, but that's okay, because I'm your host with the most. I'm Zeromaster, and back with me again is my co-host who's most verbose, Canadian Jutsu.
Yeah, I'm here. I made it.
Whose new name should be Tornado Man, because he survived the tornado.
No, first and foremost, I was nowhere close to that tornado, at all. But yeah, no, it cut out the power for half the city. So
I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you and said, "Let's do it Wednesday."
Oh well, it happens. We were going to record on Friday, but now a day or so later, we're back.
Yeah.
Obviously, cross our fingers that the power doesn't go out while we're talking, just to spite me, But that's just life in general half the time.
Exactly. So today, or whenever you're listening to this, we're going to be talking about the recent Nintendo Direct, and maybe a little bit about what's been shown off at TGS, because this just to date this is a Saturday, the 22nd, we're recording this, so TGS is still going on, as far as I know. I think it goes on for until Sunday, so there's going to be some stuff that's probably going to get revealed we're not going to be able to talk about, but we'll talk about. That's why we're only going to talk about it a little bit. Also, because we really don't follow TGS. E3's kind of the thing.
It's not that I don't follow it. It's just sort of I wait until after it's done to really.
It's not like E3 is for us. It's whereas E3, I'm watching it, trying to watch it as it happens. But anyways, so I guess to get started, you just want to get started with the Nintendo stuff, and then we'll finish off with whatever TGS stuff we want to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think it's time that Canadian Jutsu eats his hat. Because Luigi's Mansion 3 was revealed.
I will state, I still stand that it should just be on the Switch, but I have been satiated with my anger for the fact that Luigi's Mansion isn't on the Switch because they've announced Luigi Mansion 3, which is in development for the Switch. It's going to probably come out in 2019 or so?
It looks like they've already been working hard on it. It looks like it's getting there. So, they must have been working on this for a while and just said nothing about it.
Yeah, because we're less than a month away from the remake / remaster. It's more of a remaster. It's using the 3DS Luigi's Mansion 2 engine and recreating Luigi's Mansion in it. I'm sure the logistics are a lot more complicated than that, but yeah, no, I was quite surprised. It was definitely not the first thing that I thought they would show off and be like, hey, look at this! Look, Luigi's Mansion!
Oh yeah,
because not a lot of people like Luigi's Mansion like I do, right?
It's one of those games.
I'm still, like I said, I'm still hoping for that Fatal Frame, Lady of Blackwater to get a Switch version.
I'm still holding out for a real Paper Mario game, but that probably won't ever happen.
Yeah, that's not happening.
One thing actually that since we're talking about GameCube a little bit, one thing I do want to mention just as a side note. THQ Nordic bought up the rights for Eternal Darkness. Mm-hmm. I think.
I saw about that.
I think it was Eternal Darkness that did it. No, sorry, Alone in the Dark. Not Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, no, because that's Silicon Knights, right?
Yeah. So that's another thing.
I don't remember.
Eternal
Silicon
Darkness is next. If Nintendo would quit renewing it and doing absolutely nothing with it. But either way, Luigi's Mansion 3 is happening. It looks really good. It looks like an HD GameCube game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is, when it comes to Mario specifically, and just the art style of what Luigi's Mansion was doing, a lot of it was smooth texturing. It wasn't heavily detailed. It's not hyper force or jump force or whatever it's called, where you're just like, okay, you need to tone down the texturization here of my anime characters.
Yeah, that's like, too real. Too real.
Like, to me, I kind of like it because I have a feeling he'll be a lot more elastic, which is good, so we can get those like big, like holy crap, like Luigi scare field, rather than the sort of more grounded stuff from Odyssey, for as realistic as it is, right? Still in a cartoon setting, but like I'm totally cool with the more rubber bandy type of Luigi for this type of thing, so you can really get some funny expressions. And maybe just because of the whole thing with Smash, we may get a Castlevania inspired mansion or something for Luigi's Mansion 3, so we can actually play as dead Ghost Luigi. It's a precursor.
It's funny, like I was thinking about that when they announced it. I'm like, oh, maybe he'll get to go to Dracula's castle.
Maybe. I mean, how funny would that be?
That'd be hilarious. So just a couple of 3DS announcements just to get out of the way. Kirby's Epic Yarn's going to the 3DS. I don't really have any inkling to get it. I already have it for Wii, and they're not really adding much to the 3DS version. So I mean, it would have been better if they just put it on Switch, but I'm not like Luigi's Mansion angry about it being on 3DS, so it's whatever. I already own it, so I'm probably not going to pick it up again. Just have it portable.
Well, it's called like Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. Like it's got like its little asterisk extra bit tacked on.
Yeah, but it's the same fucking.
Look at our quirky title.
It's the same fucking game with a couple little add-ons I don't care about, so whatever.
Yeah.
Another Mario and Luigi remake is happening. They're doing Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. That's
actually new. That's like new DLC, or I guess a new story that is added on to Bowser's Inside Story, which is actually really good. Like if you want to play Paper Marios like the old Paper Marios for you should play the Mario and Luigi games.
Well, I mean,
that's what
I am going to be playing
like,
one for 16-bit Winter when it happens. I'm playing the first one when it comes out. I do own Bowser's Inside Story for DS, so this one's I'm like I might not pick this one up. Also, because I recently saw I don't know if you've seen his videos before. Exo Paradigm Gamer or whatever his name is does like that remake and re-break show. Where he
no, I don't.
Well, he compares like original games to the remakes. He did one where he compared Superstar Saga to the remake of Superstar Saga with the Bowser's Minions thing.
Yeah,
where they improved a few things and some things were changed, and he basically said Bowser's Minions was a waste of time. So that was another one. I'm like, well, I guess I don't really need to get the remake of it unless I absolutely want to play it on my 3DS, because I have it for Wii U. So, but yeah, that's cool. They're remaking these Mario RPGs, trying to keep them alive. Because I think the last original one they did was Paper Jam.
Yeah, where's the mixture of both Paper Mario
which I actually want. Like, I actually want to get that one because it looks good, but I just haven't had the chance to. So yeah, sweet. More RPGs.
Yeah. More RPGs on the portable systems.
So, in the terms of updates to other games, version 4 of Splatoon 2 is out now. Basically, they just added new maps, weapons, bunch of shit like that.
It's mostly due to the fact that this is to start getting prepared. Actually, I guess it's already prepared at this point for the release of the online services. Because obviously Splatoon, which I am vehemently against, which was a game for a year and a half where you could play online for free, is now you have to pay the online subscription fee to continue playing. Same thing with Mario Tennis Aces, though it's not as bad with Aces because Aces only came out a couple months ago. So
I'll say, the more I keep seeing of Mario Tennis Aces, the more I actually kind of want it.
Oh
because
yeah.
with this update they added Piranha Plant as one of the enemies, and like the Shy Guy is supposed to be a future character, but in the current update you can get the Piranha Plant, and they added like a missions mode, which I think is really cool. You can do like, I don't know how you apply missions to tennis, but
well,
damn
I mean,
it's
the story
Nintendo.
mode has
I
very
believe in them.
yeah, no, like it has an entire story mode that has like unique gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, where it's like, you know, receive a certain amount of things with certain shots, or they limit how you're able to like hit the ball back and stuff like that. Like, I haven't played it personally, but I've watched people play it and everything like that. Like, when it first came out, I was watching a guy that speedruns Luigi's Mansion, Fire Dragon. He was streaming like a bunch of it. And I was like, man, this seems like really, really fun, especially when you use all the crazy powers and stuff like that. Though, like I said, the biggest cut to me really is the fact that the online play is neutered, because they now, after a year and a half, introduce an online thing. But we'll talk a little bit more about the online stuff a little bit later, just because it's sort of a big part of this Nintendo Direct towards the end. So we'll just continue talking about the games. But
Yeah,
I've got an opinion on this Nintendo system, or this online thing right now.
Yeah, I mean,
In its current state. Not saying that it's gonna not be like amazing,
mhm.
you know, a year from now. It's more along the lines of what they're offering versus what you're actually getting and what you're losing as well.
Yeah. Probably my one of the most unexpected announcements, and the one that I'm very happy about, Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle.
Yeah.
I love beat 'em ups. I love them. They're like my go-to game for if I just want to sit down and play a game for a couple hours. I love beat 'em ups, and they're great co-op games. And this one includes a bunch of classic Capcom beat 'em ups. It's got Final Fight, which already was re-released in a couple of forms, but it's Final Fight, so why not? The arcade version of Captain Commando, which actually has multiplayer. I think.
Have you seen the commercial for it?
Yes, I have. Where they go back. He takes the kid to the future, and they're like, "All right, we should probably go back." Oh, you can't.
You can't.
It just ends.
It's
just like what?
So we're never going to see our parents again? Yep. That's correct. And then it just cuts the commercial.
And then it's over.
Just like, I'm like glad they're embracing the fact that Captain Commando's an asshole.
Oh, Captain Commando. Oh man. I believe also the arcade version is the only version that has multiplayer. I don't think the home version does.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Cool thing is, it's all online play if you have Nintendo's online service.
And then King of Dragons and Knights of the Round
ass.
were included in there too, which were two games that they did a remake of Knights of the Round not too long ago for Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
So it's cool to get the original. And then Warriors of Fate is one that I'm not too familiar with, but it looks just as fun. And the one that I'm most excited for in this package is Armored Warriors finally has a home release. If you don't know what Armored Warriors is, it's a mech beat 'em up game. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. It's so good. And it's one of those games that has not had a home release. I can understand why it didn't come to Super Nintendo, because it was kind of they would have really, really had to slim down the game to make it work on Super Nintendo. But Armored Warriors is finally coming, and Battle Circuit, another one that was never available on home console, excuse me, is now also available as part of this pack. So it's $20 American. It's like $26.99, I think, for us on the eShop. So, and all the games have online play, though I have heard that there is lag.
There's a lot of lag, and it all depends upon people's internet connections and stuff like that. So,
but I mean, that's just an added bonus. They didn't have to put that in. Most of these games I would play couch co-op anyways, but like having the option is cool. I like that. So that's 7 classic arcade beat 'em ups all together, and it's
for $20.
For $20, and it's not that I don't like the arcade classics or the SNK ones or whatever the other company's been doing, but each game is individual. And I mean, some of them are like $5, some of them are $10, which is not bad for a single game. But if like a Neo Geo game, especially since getting the originals is way more expensive than that. But I like this because you get them all together in one package, and it's just $20. So they could have made this a $30 package, and it probably would have been fine. They probably would have gotten away with it. But that's kind of cool that they put them all together.
Hey
like
man,
that.
8 games for $20. I'm cool with that.
That reminds me, I wanted to ask you. I know it was going to come up later, but what is that like demake they made?
Yeah, it's
is it the easiest way. Is it the same story or what is it?
Yes, it's compartmentalized. It plays more like a mobile title. Like this thing was designed for mobiles in mind.
But it looks like a straight up like action RPG, like the regular one is.
Yeah, but it's a little less. It's more clicky than it is like actual button inputs and stuff like that.
Because I was looking at that and I'm like, should I just get this instead?
There's no open world, obviously. Like there's no open world, so it sends you from event to event to event. With like small little platforming sections from what I've gathered. I didn't buy into it because I was like, nah, I already have the full game, so.
Okay, so like it's not the same experience then. Okay.
No, it is definitely.
Because I was looking at that because it was on sale for like 50% off, and I'm like, maybe I'll get this, but now I'm just like,
no, because nowadays you can get the Royal Edition for a really, really good price, and I just say get that.
I need to pick it up.
Get that.
I need to pick it up.
Though.
Speaking of ports, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
Yeah,
they added Nabbit and Toadette, and Toadette can turn into Peach. Just make Peach a character.
Okay, the weirdest thing is like a lot of people they've been memeing that Super Crown thing. It's like Super Crown, where it's like Mario and Bowser get rejected by Peach at the end of Super Mario Odyssey, so Bowser just wears the crown and now he's like a sexy, hot lizard person. You know, and it's just like now they're dating, and you're just like, that's amazing in and of itself.
Well, where do you think all the Koopa kids came from?
Yeah, well, I guess. Like, obviously it's Mario now. We now, it's been confirmed. Thank you. Thank you, Nintendo.
Like, I just wish they'd just forget Toadette and just make Peach a character. Just like Peach was in like with new Super Mario's 3D or whatever. Or I mean, not 3D. Sorry, 3D World. Like they put her in there, and I'm like, yes, and I love that game, and I like it's a 3D Mario game I actually like, even though it's not like any of the other ones that people.
That one's more. It's more world based. It's like the old platformers. It's just in a 3D sphere, but they're small chunks.
I just thought they were just like, I don't understand why they need Toadette to become Peach yet. Just put Peach in the game, like.
I don't know. It's from something interesting. I don't know why it's important for that. It seems very convoluted, but it's another playable character. I think that the whole Toadette thing is smart because then they don't really. Now this game should be $20
because this is a re-release.
It really, like, to be fair, if it's $40, it's both the new Super Luigi and
if it comes with Super Luigi as well, then that would make sense because that's something like what 350 levels or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they actually do state it here. It's like the Switch release will also come with the new Super Luigi U as well.
I mean, I have both Super Mario Brothers U and Luigi U for Wii U, so I don't know if I'd pick this up.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like other than like, oh look, here's Toadette, because Nabbit was in Super Luigi U, right? So
yeah,
that seems to be the only new gameplay. Like, does the Super Crown give other people different powers? Like, is that a thing that we're supposed to?
This whole Super Crown thing is just weird to me. I'm just like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I never really got into the Super Mario Bros. U stuff all that much, so it'll be interesting. I think it's one of those things where if I ever came to visit you, I'd probably play it with you or something like that. That would be the extent of me actually delving into it.
I have new Super Mario Brothers Wii, new Super Mario Brothers U, new Super Luigi U, and I just recently got new Super Mario Brothers 2 because I got it on sale for a really good price, but
that was the one on 3DS,
yeah, the
right?
one with all the gold and all that shit.
Gold, the coins.
I got it for like $20. I also got Hello Neighbor for $20.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I got a physical copy of it, which I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like that. Another thing that I was super excited for, I did not see, I just got blindsided by Katamari Damacy Reroll.
Yeah, a remake.
I was like, finally, I mean, I just bought Katamari Damacy like 2 years ago for PS2, but I mean, taking it with me on the go on the Switch, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, with them gyro controls and HD rumble.
Oh, and they added the controls with the they added the controls with the Joy-Cons, which I think is a cool idea. Like, that's one thing I thought of. I'm like, why the hell was there not a Katamari game on the Wii? That would be perfect. Just being able to roll around and shit. But this is, I guess, this will be just as good. Even though I love Katamari, I'm not especially good at it. If my Let's Play gives any indication, but I would love to just have this to whip out whenever I want to just play a quick level.
Mm-hmm.
This game is really suited for something like the Switch, because a level only takes you maybe 5 minutes max.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's good to pick up and play type of thing, and I'm interested to see the King again.
Yes, we were drunk that night. You see, all the stars in the sky are gone.
And party. Orgies, as far as the eye can see. But
and all the cousins and shit. Fuck. And this one's gonna have co-op, which is nice. Or not co-op, but multiplayer modes. I don't think the original Katamari. I think it only had one multiplayer mode, and the second one was the one that had all the multiplayer modes in it.
Yeah, two had the co-op / proper multiplayer.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm very excited for that. I'm probably gonna buy this again now because I can play it on the go.
So Warframe has finally got a release date
Warframe.
On when it's coming out.
I love how they mentioned it for literally 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all you have to do is put Warframe, and then like half of the 12-year-olds are like, yes, and then the other 35-year-olds are like, yes, and then everybody in between is like, eh. Another free, it's like Paladins and other free things that you can just sort of download and play on your Switch. You know?
Paladins is also a good game for a quick match. The problem is it's online, so if you don't have internet access, you can't play it on the go that much.
Yeah, and the same thing with Warframe is it's all online based and stuff.
They also mentioned that Diablo 3 is coming to Switch with all the expansions, which is pretty awesome. I mean, I have Diablo 3 I think I have it for PC, and I also have it for PS3, but I don't have the newer expansions. And
oh yeah, because the Necromancer came out last year, I believe.
Did it come out last year?
It came out last year. It was announced at BlizzCon last year.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't kept up
well, I
with
mean,
it.
like, and remember that the Necromancer really wasn't like a real game expansion. It was more like, here's a character with like new crypt type gameplay where it's like more for like loot generation and stuff like that. It's for people that liked the seasons and stuff in Diablo 3, at least on PC. I don't know if the console versions actually had them. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. But yeah, it was more along the lines of just getting newer, rare loot, and there was a new character class, which played into the story mode. So if you started Act 1 as a Necromancer, the story would be told from the Necromancer's point of view, which I think is neat. That's why I like Diablo 3, is like all the story was catered towards the fact that you picked a certain class at the beginning of it. It wasn't like a generic story.
I was talking about this with my coworkers. We were trying to figure out if Diablo 3 had crossplay. I don't think it does.
No, it does. The console versions are very different from the PC version.
Yeah, because they control differently to make it work properly on a controller. But yeah.
Unless they announce otherwise, I don't think so.
Yeah, because one of my buddies was like, "Well, I have it on PC, and I mean, I do too, but I don't have the expansions. But I was thinking of getting the Switch version, then I could just play with you. But I guess you can't because they're a little different." But who knows?
I mean, I think you may be able, like, depending upon, because like you could do couch co-op in the whatchamacallit, in the console versions. So I'm going to assume that that's going to be in the Switch version.
I mean,
as well.
I would assume that's something you can do. And the fact that because of the Switch is the Switch, you can easily have another controller or something there. So
yeah.
And Diablo 3 doesn't need a lot of buttons on the controller.
No, it doesn't.
As far as I remember when playing it. They announced a bundle for Pokemon Let's Go, where you can get the game, the Pokeball Plus, and a limited edition Pokemon Switch. I mean, I don't feel as bad about this now as I don't feel bad about this as when maybe I got my Wii U, because I wanted the Switch and I did sort of get a bundle when I got it in a deal. So, but for people who don't have a Switch yet and are probably going to get one just to play Pokemon, there you go. There's a bundle right there. Though I feel like a lot of Pokemon fans this time around it's going to be a harder pill to swallow because this is not going to be the same price as getting like a 3DS and Pokemon. It's going to be a much higher cost. But then by the time somebody gets the Switch for Pokemon, there's going to be all these other games they can play too. So maybe not as big of a deal.
Well, like from working in a game store when it came to bundles with games and stuff like that, especially when it was like a new thing, I always would make the argument that you're usually saving about $20 in the long run. Like, it seems like you're paying more, but you also have to remember you have to factor in like an $80 game at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
so like, yeah, you may be paying like 200, actually probably more like 300 after everything, but like, you're probably saving about $20. Plus, like you said, the library is so much more expansive now that it's not that bad that you're getting. I mean, hell, if it's coming with the Pokeball, which also has Mew in it.
Yeah.
Which is also an incentive for some people. It's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, when I got my Switch, I got it for $20 less than what it cost for just the console, and I got a free game with it. So
yeah,
I got a pretty good deal on that. But I mean, even with this, with the stuff that's coming in there, it's probably still going to be a good deal or a good value for somebody who doesn't have a console. So, I've actually heard a couple of people I've talked to say they're going to trade in their Switches so they can get this Pokemon one, because some of them want the Pokemon one.
Oh yeah, like there's some people that have already said that they want the Smash bundle and everything.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
right?
Another coworker of mine's like, I have a Switch, but now I'm going to trade in so I get the Smash one.
I don't know. It's just a decal.
Yeah,
that's
the thing for me.
It's
just the Smash one was just a decal basically. So, if they release the Smash Joy-Con,
it's just the dock. It's just the dock. It doesn't seem like the actual Switch console itself has any markers.
The controllers get the little cross symbol from Smash, but that's like 2 slides of white. So it's not even that crazy. If they release the Joy-Con separately, then that'd be something I'd look at, but
yeah, if you needed an extra pair of Joy-Cons.
Exactly. Super Mario Party has a date, and oh my god, they're not in a car.
Yes. Well, we already knew that.
But like this time it's confirmed.
Have they said anything about online play, or is this still a couch co-op only?
They didn't really talk anything about online play. The thing that I want to know is if you can play all the mini games in console mode, because I'm looking at Mario Party, and that's a game that I'm probably going to record a lot of. So
yeah,
I don't want I don't want to have to...
half the minigames gone. Yeah.
I don't want to lose some of the minigames, but like on the other hand, I don't want to have to set up a camera to do some of the minigames. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be a pain.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have like a turn off if the games require that they don't have their own presets. Like, for example, there's that one where you create the map that the tanks fight on, right? Maybe there's some generic ones if you don't want to do that whole thing with the switches.
Or
that's why I'm saying that if it's incorporating multiple switches, then is it only local multiplayer, or can it be possibly online because there are more switches there?
Yeah, they didn't really say. They just kind of showed more of the game a bit and when it's coming out. So
yeah,
guess we'll find out when the reviews start hitting the internet here in the next couple weeks.
It should be in the next couple of weeks.
Probably by the time this comes out.
Close. It's like less than 2 weeks away now, isn't
probably
it?
By the time this comes out, it'll be close to coming out. So we'll have to wait and see from there. And then, oh man, we got to see more of Daemon X Machina. I'm so excited for this game. Like, I want to.
It looks. Great.
I want to play it really badly, but it's not going to be until next year.
I'm okay with that. The more time that game has in the oven, the better it will be.
I was just saying earlier today that Unreal was telling me that the custom robo license ran out, so it's now considered an abandoned license. And custom this is kind of like gonna fill that custom robo / virtue on void that I've been feeling. I think Daemon X Machina is gonna do that, so I'm happy we're just getting another combat mecha fighting game that isn't Armored Core. I like Armored Core, but there's only I get bored of it after a little while. So this game looks really good, and I think it's going to be really fun. I just wish it was coming out this holiday season and not next year, but I can wait. I can wait for that. I've got a lot of stuff to play already as it is. So, and then NBA 2K19.
Woo! You're getting Just Dance 2019.
NBA Playgrounds 2. FIFA 19.
Team Sonic Racing, which actually will be really good.
Yeah.
By the way.
The only thing I'm concerned about is because it's only Sonic characters, and I kind of wanted a sequel.
Kind of missed the Sega.
I kind of wanted a sequel to Sega All-Star Racing, because that game had like characters from all Sega franchises and Annika Patrick. But
and Annika Patrick, yeah.
Lego DC Supervillains.
Woo. I mean, the Lego games are always non-offensive. They're actually quite fun. I've played a couple back at a couple.
We should play
ago.
some of those.
Oh yeah,
because we
should do the superhero one, especially like the Marvel Lego was really fun.
Early on in Power Plays, I think my brother and I did Lego Batman, and we weren't feeling it. So I think we released one episode of that, and then we didn't do any more of it. We were just like, this isn't as fun as we thought it'd be, because we were used to Lego Star Wars, so we thought it would be more like that, but it was different, so we weren't really expecting that. But I'll probably, I have a bunch of the Lego games just waiting to be played. Nobody wants to play co-op with me when I play them, so I'm just like, oh well, whatever. It is what it is.
So moving on a little bit from that, they did show off more stuff from Starlink.
Oh, the Star Fox stuff?
Yeah, the exclusive Star Fox stuff, and Wolfie, he's back! Star Wolf is back!
Star Wolf, yeah, he's back. I love how they showed him just, like, eating another alien or something.
He was just chewing on something.
I hunger.
But, like, see, that's the thing, is, like, the sad truth of it all is, like, I'm like, Starlink looks really fun, but I want to play as Star Fox the entire time, not just in like his special missions and stuff like that.
I'm sure something's gonna happen, because they haven't. See, the weird thing is, like, they showed off the Star Fox ship thing, because this game is a Toys to Life game, so they showed off the Star Fox ship toy that you can get, but they haven't shown anything more with it. So they haven't really said if this is gonna be like amiibos where you can like put whatever ship you want in or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe he will become part of the main game. It's just he won't be involved in the story except for his parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can play as
kind of sad in its own right.
Yeah. Like you could probably play as Star Fox at any time. It's just you won't get any of the story stuff unless you play the Star Fox story, you know. So
yeah. Well, that kind of makes sense too, just due to the fact that like this game is actually being released on multiple platforms. This is just exclusive content for the Switch.
Exactly. I definitely want to try it out. After beating the first Star Fox finally. I'm ready for more Star Fox.
This next one I'm really excited for. The World Ends With You Final Remake.
Yes. It's coming out in a few weeks.
Coming out in a few weeks. That's the thing. That's my October game for sure.
I mean, there's so much shit happening in October. I'm gonna
for October here.
I have like 2-3 reviews that I'm gonna be doing through October too. So,
oh man,
and trying to play all these games is gonna be nuts.
Damn.
But man, like I'm excited for that. And basically, they announced a new game plus for it, where you can play the game, but like it's randomized or something like that. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't. It's very vague on the details of that. Because because like I know most of how the game like works. I'm like, how random is this going to be? Because if it is like truly random, there's ways that this game could screw you over early on with certain mechanics that you don't learn until much later on, unless it's like a proper New Game Plus where you just get the characters though at their relative peaks by the time you finish the game. Then it won't be so bad.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. I want to see more people play this game because a lot of people overlooked it on the DS back in the day.
Yeah, and it's hard to find because of that. So I'm excited that we're finally getting it again. Now, CJ.
Yeah.
I know that one of your main addictions recently has been Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yes.
So are you ready for the new DLC pack?
Yes, I am ready. I'm ready. I'm not, actually, technically I'm not, because I haven't beaten Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet. It's and the only reason why I haven't beaten it is because I've been playing it on stream exclusively.
Yeah.
So I could easily just, spend one afternoon just playing it, but at the same time I want to do it on stream.
Streamed it a ton,
all that type of stuff.
Like,
yeah, I have, and it's just a really long grind. It's not even grindy. I don't even know how to describe it. It's an MMO like RPG, and from what it sounds like, this is such a great big expansion that it's getting its own release.
Yeah.
Like you can go buy it separately in cartridge form.
Oh, really?
Like there's a physical copy that's coming out on the 21st. So it came out yesterday.
So you could it's a standalone game too, eh?
Yeah, it's a standalone game, and it adds to the main game as well.
Okay, so it's kind of like a Blood Dragon situation, eh?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't really care too much for Far Cry 3, but Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon I love that game.
Apparently they've tweaked a lot about the gameplay. It's a lot faster, more fluid. And obviously there's probably really new things, though a lot of people have been stating, especially in the pre-release reviews and pre-release like mention, that it's best that you play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 before you play this one, even though it's a prequel.
I probably would,
because it spoils a lot of the big reveals in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 from what it sounds like, on top of the fact that it doesn't play. You have to sort of know how to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It doesn't hold your hand like the beginning tutorials and stuff like that in the main game.
I think that's actually kind of cool that they're releasing a standalone physical version. So if I want to buy Xenoblade Chronicles physically, I can buy the Golden Country physically as well. It's even though they're like sister games. I think that's kind of neat. I wish more companies gave that option. Because the other thing that could happen is they could later down the line release this as a 2-pack, which would be awesome.
Yeah, where you get both of them together.
Yeah.
I think they already are offering that.
Are they? Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but they may be already offering the thing together. And it includes all the extra like DLC from the season pass as well. So if you pick up, just say you go to the store and you pick up the Torna stuff, it'll come with all the DLC season pass that was in the original. So the extra blades, the challenge tower that included what's his face? I'm really feeling it. Shit, what's his name?
Oh fuck!
Oh my god!
It escapes me right now.
Oh jeez. Yeah, I'm really feeling it.
You know who you're saying.
Shulk. Shulk. His name is Shulk. Yeah, yeah, Shulk. Like where you get Shulk as a blade and one of the main girls as well.
Oh, nice.
And it's a challenge tower, so you fight increasingly more and more devastating enemies, and they unlock costumes and other things that your characters can wear, and it just sort of expands the game more. It adds on more stuff to it.
First time Shulk comes out, don't worry, I'm really feeling it.
Dude, one of my favorite like live action versions of him, like that someone has a GIF of, is from Anime North.
Yeah, the Anime North where I'm really feeling it.
Yeah, I'm really feeling it. It's always cool to see it. I'm just like, oh my god, that's the DoubleTree in the background.
We were there.
Or whatever it's called now. Rainbow something.
Exactly. So, speaking of RPGs,
wow.
Did you ever wish you could put your Final Fantasy in your Switch? Well, now you can.
Except for Final Fantasy 8.
Do you want Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10, 10?
Was watching 8 getting shafted.
Do you want Final Fantasy 7 through 15, but not 8?
8?
on your Switch. Actually, technically 11 and 14 and 13 aren't on it either. But hey.
Yeah. But still, like, hell, freaking Chocobo Dungeon has never been released here in the West. That specific,
the first
like,
Chocobo Dungeon game,
everyone,
I think.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. We're getting sort of a remaster / remake of that. So that's really cool. And obviously, World of Final Fantasy also seems to have a lot of new extra things.
Yeah,
I think
I think that it's the base game, and there's extra stuff added to it, which is cool because I've actually been planning to get that game for a while. I just haven't because I had other games to play. So fuck, if I can get it on the Switch, I'll do that. Yeah,
I played the demo. I wasn't like it didn't give me a good first impression.
Okay.
Because it deals with like you have these chibi characters and then you stack them on top of others to make stronger fights, and the enemies can stack too. It's just odd. It's an odd thing. Like I said, it was a bad first impression, but I bet you if I actually like pushed through that initial thing, it probably end up being.
I've heard a lot of people say that it wasn't what they expected, but they still enjoyed it. So. It's probably one of those things. Maybe I'll try a demo then, because I saw.
But hey, it's got my two favorite Final Fantasies of all time coming out on the Switch, which is Final Fantasy IX and a remastered version of Crystal Chronicles. So like, okay, and hell, getting the Zodiac Age Final Fantasy 12 for people that never picked that up. This is good.
I didn't pick up the remaster of 12, so I might pick it up on Switch. Man, I still wish it had a different battle system, but whatever.
Well, it does. This one has a different battle system. Well, it's actually more of a different character leveling system with tweaks to the battle system to make it faster. The Zodiac Age is using the universal job class system that the international version of Final Fantasy 12 had, which was only released in Europe. And
so Japan. Is it more like 14 or?
It's still a little less like 14, but it's a lot faster.
Okay, gotcha.
This time around. You still deal with menus and stuff like that, but it's, like I said, it's a lot faster. It's sort of like the same speed that Final Fantasy 13 has.
I want to play 12 because I love the Ivalice stuff, but like when it came out, I just was so disappointed. Like when it first came out, that I just didn't pick it up again. I'm like, because there are several times I'm like, I should just play this for the story and not worry about the gameplay, but gameplay in an RPG is very important to me, almost more important than the story to me, even though some people say that's bad. But I just, if an RPG doesn't have good gameplay, it's hard for me to get into it. And I mean, if this version's got faster gameplay or like a tweaked gameplay system, then maybe I should give it another chance. So
yeah, and you can grow your characters a lot more the way you want to. Right, so like if you want Balthier to be a paladin, you can let Balthier be a paladin.
I was gonna say, because like that's one thing I heard. I heard the license board fucking sucks. So
it did. Yeah. It sucked balls. Did it? Like just think of all the fun, cool stuff about the sphere grid. You know, like how at first everybody had their unique spot on the sphere grid, but then later on everybody could be whatever. But then just imagine that on a checkered board. But each checkerboard is unique to the certain characters. And certain parts of the checkerboard can't be unlocked unless you get certain criteria. So if you went down the wrong path with Vaughn, for example, you would end up with a shit ton of agility, but absolutely no defense by like the halfway point of the game. So he just gets one shot by things like all the time. If you didn't plan out your strategy, it's not like the Sphere Grid where it was designed for proper character progression and then opens up as you get towards the end game, where now everybody can cast fire or stuff, so you don't need to do a lot of the swapping and stuff like that.
I just remember that old ass Mega 64 video. Hi, I'm Vaughn, cat from Damascus.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to show up in 14. Yeah. Just a little hint that he's around.
Captain Bosch.
Because Dalmasca in the storyline in 14 right now, or in the 14 universe, which is different than the Evolution one, it got razed to the ground. The Garleans came in and they nuked it to prove a point. It's like, you rise up against our empire, we're gonna do what we did to Dalmasca to you. Which prompted them to summon a bunch of fucking Zodiac brave monsters, which we have to now fight in 14.
Sorry, I said that wrong. I'm Captain Bosch von Rosenberg of Dalmasca. Hello.
Hi, Vaughn. I love Vaughn.
Oh, I love.
He's such an underrated main character. Like, definitely Ash should have been the main character. Like, really, she should have, like, story wise and story purposes.
I don't know a lot about Ash, but I like Ash.
It's like Yuna and Titus, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas in Titus, you could say that he's still the main character, but really it's Yuna's story. He's like, listen to my story, but it's really actually Yuna's. Throughout most of the game until like that final tail end. But yeah, it's just one of those things where 12 will always have a special place, but it's definitely low on my Final Fantasy favorite totem.
I think what we should do is, and this is, I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time anyway, so it's not something we have to say off the podcast. We should probably get Crystal Chronicles and like test to see how the online works, and then set up the crew that we want to set up. And do that. Oh shit, the only problem with that is some of the people who want to play with us don't have a Switch. Fuck.
Yeah.
So, damn it. Either way.
Because I know Billy particularly.
Billy doesn't have a Switch, and he actually, when I went to visit him like a couple weeks ago, he wouldn't stop talking about Crystal Chronicles and how he wants to get four people together to play it. I'm like, this is the exact conversation I've been having with Andrew for like 3-4 years.
For years. Yeah, you've been having it with me for years. And I got everything set up. It was like, I remember the whole plan was originally was going to be me, you, Jax, and then it was going to be somebody that either you or Blondie or someone when we all came down to my place or something like that. But then some of the stuff with Jax happened.
I wonder if it has local co-op.
Oh, I bet you it will. It better.
Fuck, then that would be perfect because we can. Oh, but everybody still needs a Switch. Damn it! Because I was gonna say, you, me, and Blondie all have Switches, so we have Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
But fuck, damn it!
You know what? We may not need it because Crystal Chronicles was designed with the GameCube in mind, right? So most of the buttons on the Switch Joy-Cons would cover that.
Yeah, we'll have to find out how it works first.
Yeah, we have to wait for the game to come out.
We'll have to wait for the game to come out. We'll do some experimentation.
Next year?
And if it does work, coming eventually to Power Plays Crystal Chronicles.
Yes.
Finally.
Finally.
Not that we didn't already have all the stuff we needed to play it, it's just getting all the stuff together. It's just, fuck. But I know Billy's going to be incredibly happy about Chocobo Dungeon, though. Because
I'm stoked. I have Chocobo Dungeon 2 on PlayStation.
You have Chocobo Dungeon 2?
Yeah, I do.
Fuck. Yeah. Billy has said, like, every time I go visit him, he's like, I wish you had Chocobo Dungeon 2. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I used to have it, but I had to get rid of it. I'm like,
Hey, man. When it comes to PS1, I have pretty much all of like the mainstream really good things and a lot of obscure things. That's
cool.
PS1 was my console. Like, I love the N64 and I definitely played a lot of it, but the PlayStation 1, mwah.
Yeah.
This is why Spyro coming out, just in the next month. Obviously it was pushed back, but that's fine. I don't care. Please work harder on it. It looks so fucking
good. They're doing a really good job with it, looks like. So but anyways, back to things. So that's Final Fantasy. There's a whole lot of Final Fantasy coming out. There's also that 15 version I talked about earlier, which I guess is
Pocket Edition or whatever.
Which I guess is just a mobilized version of it. So I'll probably pass on that and get
with some of the bigger sections taken out of it, just sort of to make it more portable.
But now that it's on Switch, I finally, because they won't stop throwing these up-res ports. Up-res ports of Final Fantasy VII at me. I might actually buy another copy of Final Fantasy VII and make it past the first disc.
It doesn't have disc swapping. And it doesn't have disc swapping, so you're just like, fuck it, I'll just continue playing.
Finally, I might actually be able to play that game. Whew.
Actually, that may be something that you should play with somebody else, because
I was thinking of
I find that,
eventually,
for example, I listened back to some of our Final Fantasy 13, and the things that make that a lot more playable for me and you is the fact that we're sort of commentating over top of it.
I was thinking of streaming it, actually, Final Fantasy 7 at some point. I just need to, get my stream stuff all in a row. I'm making some changes to my stream soon, but that's something for the future.
I look forward to those changes, as should you, viewer. Go to twitch.tv/ZeroMasterLP.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m.
on
Eastern.
and inspired to stream yourself.
Except for the Thursday before this podcast comes out, or Tuesday before this podcast comes out, because I'm going to see my Damien theaters. I can talk, words are heard.
Video games.
Do you like Civ 6? It's coming to the Switch.
Is it coming out on Switch?
It's coming out on Switch, and so is City Skylines.
Yeah, City Skylines is like SimCity. Mm-hmm. It's what took over for SimCity when SimCity went all EA.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a lot of people having fun playing Civ on this, especially if it has touchscreen support. I could see that being really cool.
Or player LAN as well.
I'm just not really into those kind of games, so I don't really have much to say about it. But yeah.
The last game that was like that I played was Caesar 3, and that came out like 1995 or something.
Was the entire game about making a salad?
I wish, but no. It was one of those ones where it was like an RTS, but you could either do things down a war path or an economic path, which I always found that the economic path was more interesting, just, I guess, for my young adultness, where I'm just like, war was just like, build a bunch of archers and raise everything to the ground.
Yep.
But yeah, so then there's this new game coming out from Game Freak.
Yeah, Game Freak has a new IP.
Town. But, like, is that, like, it's working title, right? Like, It's not, like, its actual title. Like, it was just called Town.
What I think is cool about it is that it's an RPG that takes place all in one town, basically. Like, you have to, like, manage the town or whatever, I guess. But it's a full RPG.
Oh, so it's like Rune Factory.
Maybe?
Gotcha.
I don't know. I was getting more vibes of what Mother 3 was originally going to be, which is the original idea for Mother 3 was it was supposed to be one town that changes over time. I think that might be what they're doing with this.
Ooh,
maybe.
I kind of like the idea of like an RPG mixed with Animal Crossing.
That actually would be really cool.
Everybody's town is different, so it has different animals, different like certain attractions and other things like that.
That'd be really cool.
So I could go through the game with this blacksmith character that you don't have.
And if they had some kind of like multiplayer thing, like you could visit each other's towns, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm pleasantly intrigued when it comes to something.
But they showed so little of it, so it's like I have to keep expectations in check. Also, because probably the working name Town is probably an indication that they're still early in development with it. So. And I mean,
yeah, they don't have a concrete.
Let's be real. They're putting all their resources right now in Pokemon. So this is just something they're doing on the side for the time being, anyways. So the new Yoshi game coming out.
Well, we've sort of known about this, but it's actually got a proper title.
Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yeah,
this game looks fucking adorable.
Which is interesting because, like, it originally had a very Yarn aesthetic, but it looks like they've sort of moved not away from it, but just encompassed so many other factors.
Yarn is just part of it. Which I think is cool. I think it's cool they expanded on that. Because if they just made Yoshi's Woolly World 2, I'd probably still buy it and play it and have a good time, but, like, it's, those ones are kind of unique games. Like with Kirby's Epic Yarn, same idea. So I like that they're doing something a little different with it. It looks like they're doing like not just 2D stages, but sometimes slightly 3D stages now. Like there's multiple planes and stuff like that. There wasn't a lot of that in Yoshi's Woolly World. So that's really cool. I'm probably gonna buy
this. But yeah, it's just another like cute little platformer that's going to have interesting mechanics.
It can't be worse than Yoshi's New Island.
Oh,
God.
Face.
Every Yoshi's Island sequel that's not a spinoff has been bad. The one on DS and the one on 3DS are both bad. Yoshi's Woolly World is really good. and this looks like it's probably going to be really good. So,
So the only other thing sort of at notice is Asmodee is bringing a lot of tabletop like card games and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm not a big card game tabletop player. I do like playing things like D&D and stuff like that, but that's more of a like action adventure role playing type of stuff. Whereas in some of these are just a lot of them are just like card games.
So they're bringing Carcassonne. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lord of the Rings living card game, and the thing that's in the two announcements about this that I was excited about is they're bringing Pandemic to the Switch. If you haven't played Pandemic, it's a fantastic game where you have to save the world from dying of a lethal virus. It's actually really fun too. When you get a bunch of people playing it, so I'm glad they're putting it on Switch, and finally we're getting a console version of Catan. It's been on PC for years, and there's a mobile version, but those versions suck. But being on Switch, I feel like it's going to be really good.
We're getting Munchkin too.
Munchkin, yes. But Munchkin
like
also
I said,
is not
they're
Catan.
card based, and I don't play them as.
But Munchkin's also not Catan. I'm more excited for Catan. Just don't get me wrong. Like, I like playing board games. The problem with board games is that like some of them go really long, and I feel like a video game version will condense that a little bit. Yeah. Which should be fun. And then the two biggest announcements of the whole thing, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The bundle we talked about already.
May we kiss our finger and point to the sky, to the great Waluigi in the sky.
Hey, there's still more characters that they're going to be releasing.
I know, but I still my friend.
But we know that they think Waluigi's a big joke, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, they need to make a new Super Waluigi. But
you know what? Out of anybody from the Animal Crossing that could make it in, it would either be KK Slider or Isabelle.
I was happy Isabelle's really in there. Glad. She's my girl.
Yeah. I'm and to also just sort of underhanded afterwards be like, everybody's losing their shit. Oh my god, it's a new Animal Crossing. And then they're like, oh no, it's a Smash trailer. Oh wait, it's also a fucking Animal Crossing.
I also love how in between like the Smash trailer and Animal Crossing thing, it's just Tom Nook being like, oh, it's just me being at home, running my business. Yeah, you should feel like you have no soul, you extortionist son of a bitch. And like I think it was Jordan. He had like,
hey man, hashtag Tom Nook did nothing wrong. He only helped.
Jordan had like found this piece of artwork that he put on his Facebook, which was him like Tom Nook looking out of the shades of his office, seeing all his other friends having fun while he's in the office working. Yeah, fuck you, Tom Nook.
Yeah. Hey man, how do you think the Smash Ultimate is being marketed? It's being marketed by that bastard and his gigantic balls.
Oh my god. Right, he's a Tanuki.
Yeah, he is.
I want to see the picture again. I started looking up Jordan on Facebook. I started looking up Tom Nook. I'm like, wait.
Oh god, no. Don't search Isabelle or Tom Nook with the safety filters off.
Definitely not Isabelle. I mean...
Oh, definitely not. Or any of the female Animal Crossing.
One of our own Toronto artists, Gemboy, makes some pretty risque Isabelle art, so...
Oh, yeah. She thick, boys.
I know nobody can see this image, but...
No, my favorite one right now is because of her placement on the board, like on the character, like... panorama that they have. She's close to Cloud, so people are drawing fan art of her and Cloud as like best friends.
Yeah,
where it's like, we're gonna F you up. The F stands for fun. It's just like serious Cloud with this like dog perched on his shoulder. We're gonna kill you with fun. It's so great. Where he's like, I have to protect her at all cost, or her like sneaking around with Solid Snake. It's just like, people are so, like, when they're not being really weird and yiffy and gross and furry with these characters, they can be really creative and cute with it.
It's true, man. It's true.
Yeah.
And basically, that's...
Not that I kink shame, by the way. All power to you if you're a furry. I think that's... It's really interesting. I mean, hell, I like fucking Star Fox characters, so there must be a hidden furry in me too.
Yiff.
Yiff.
So that's basically the whole direct. some really, really cool stuff's coming out, and I'm really glad I have a Switch now. So.
Yeah, okay. So can I gush about Devil May Cry 5 for a second?
Okay, so now we're getting on...
As in a game that I'm not interested in at all.
We're getting on to some of the TGS stuff. We're only going to go over this briefly, guys, because we're not paying attention to it that much. But Can I just, before you gush about it, did you hear the whole controversy with Dante's theme song?
Oh, yeah, dude.
And how, they had to remove the song because the lead singer of the band was found to be, doing some shady stuff. The thing is at first, when Unreal said, "Oh, the song's terrible," I thought, man, listen, metal music is not the same as it was. He's like, that's not why I'm upset. And I'm like, oh, why? And then he told me the whole story about how the lead singer of the band is apparently
there's that.
A creeper.
And see, the thing is the theme itself is good. However, the scream stuff was either not layered properly or it was too prominent.
Oh, dude.
That you don't hear the cool fucking guitar and shit.
No. You know what it was? The drums were, for some reason, somebody fucked up the mixing of that because the drums were way too prevalent. I remember that. The guitar was mixed terribly. It was terrible. It was I don't know, because normally I'm like, Suicide Silence usually has good, mixing. So who the fuck mixed this thing? They must have rushed this shit out the door to get it done in time. Because I'm like, this sounds like something I would get off of a CD from a local band who just made a basement demo. It was that bad of mixing. And I'm like, who the fuck? Man.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of long-winded screaming lyrics. I like that sort of melodic stuff where they have a little bit of singing, that's why I like System of a Down, right? They've got these things where they're fast paced, it's lyrical, then they have some screams and other things like that. The Disturbed is another good example of that type where they have that sort of melodicness, but then it also goes into the screamo and all that type of stuff. But that's not really Dante.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a black metal type of sound. That's not really the music that he's always been associated with. A lot of it's been very gothic metal. If you listen to all of Dante's previous themes and just DMC music in general, they use a lot of heavy gothic, synthesized type of metal. It has its own feel. That's why Devil Trigger it's got that perfect mix of electronica mixed with metal and heavy hits and melodic sense. That's why a lot of people love Devil Trigger, right? I mean, apart from the music video, which is a little too old school emo 90s for my taste, it's a really good song. And then to hear it so contrasted by a theme that doesn't really match Dante, if anything, it actually matches DMC Dante more, which it's weird to say the least. I'm like, man, this theme wouldn't be so bad if it was with Dante. And it's just one of those things where you look at the characters, you look at how they act and everything. And I'm like, black metal would fit the DMC Dante, but not the Devil May Cry one. So then this is apart from the fact that the lead singer has had some, we'll just say light. We'll just keep it PG here, but it's just that, right? It's I as a fan that has listened and loved DMC and Devil May Cry music and everything, it just didn't fit the tone of which normally is part of it. And when you remove the screaming and you listen to some of the background stuff, and they have either been remixed or re-instrumentalized by fans, you realize that it's actually really good and it does fit Dante if it just doesn't have a guy over top of it, guttural singing all the time, where it's got this sort of, it sounds like, I hate to say it, but really sometimes it sounds as if somebody's trying to cough up a fur ball while also trying to speak Shakespeare at me.
Now I'm more of a metal guy, so it didn't bother me that much. I'm just not a huge Suicide Silence guy, and on top of it being really poorly mixed, I thought was kind of an odd choice. I thought maybe if they're trying to make it more edgy, that's why they picked that. But I'm just like, I would have thought, again, I thought the same thing. I'm like, this was like a Dante thing. Like, this is not the type of song. Like, and just going back to one of the reasons why I like a lot of those like X-core metal genres and stuff is because they have a lot of the same thing, a lot of like good guitar parts. Like, just for example, Between the Buried and Me, they have 17-minute songs, but like there's barely any vocals in them. And when there is, it doesn't sound like the person doing it is actually doing a good job with the scream vocals, not like Suicide Silence, where it's just like screaming because they can.
That's what I'm saying, is when Scream is done right, it's good. But when it's not executed and it's drowning out so much of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like, hell, the new gameplay trailer that they released with more Dante footage, the song is absent.
Yeah.
Like, they removed
they overnighted that shit to like get the music out of there. We were actually just talking about that. I was on the River City Gamers podcast. That was a 3-hour podcast, by the way. That was fun.
Damn.
But yeah, it's I saw some of the stuff. Like, I'm not as well versed with Devil May Cry as you are, so I'm not as excited for it, but it looks like a fun game.
Yeah. It's gonna have multiplayer too.
Oh, really?
Multiplayer. I don't think the single player content.
I hope it's not going to be like Bayonetta 2 multiplayer where we played it like once and we're like, this isn't really fun.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one of those things where it's going to be mission based. I have a feeling where it's like you can go through the certain missions in co-op. And they sort of show that off with Lady and Trish, and it's just because it's in the Resident Evil 7 engine, the characters look a lot more human rather than semi-anime.
Yeah.
It's if you look at them and you're just like, that's Lady? Yeah, that's Lady. Oh my god, that's Trish? Wait, yeah, that's Trish.
Yeah.
It's this feeling. I'm still a little disconnected. Like, even with Nero, I sometimes see it and I'm just like, oh wait, Johnny's voice is coming out of him. It's Nero. You know, like that it's just that initial weird reaction because I'm so used to the more anime-ish versions of them.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, like, looking at Dante, other than, you know, a little bit of weird texturing there with his stubble and everything like that, I think he looks really, really fun.
Yeah.
He's got his trick styles and everything from the previous game, so hopefully you can still switch between them and level the. I hope they bring back the level mechanic where you could level them up so they'd be even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously the other big controversy with the fact that microtransactions are back from the special edition and the original release of DMC4. I'm definitely with the idea that same thing with Jim Sterling, you know, like when they do this to single player games, it's a way that they undermine the player base and make it either easier or less, or it's just sort of an easy cash grab. But at the same time, I'm just not going to purchase them, so it doesn't affect me specifically. But I mean, if it rudimentally affected the game where the single player, it was like, you can't get past mission 5 because you don't have enough red orbs to do the mission, that's when I'll take issue with the microtransaction. I don't think, when it becomes like mobile.
I don't think Capcom's that stupid. Like, I don't think they're going to do something like that. So, something I completely forgot to talk about during the Nintendo thing. Mega Man 11 is going to have amiibo functionality. Just real quick. Where if you use a Mega Man amiibo, you'll get extra items and stuff. So
do you get a special one with the gold version of Mega Man?
I don't know, because I have the gold amiibo. I just haven't opened it yet. So, but I think any Mega Man compatible amiibo will give you like extra items like E-tanks and stuff like that. So see, that's, some people might say that's a microtransaction, but at the same time, like, you still bought a physical thing and you didn't buy it. Yeah. I didn't buy my Mega Man amiibo just for Mega Man 11. So, but it's cool that it gives you something. So, if
good luck getting those at good prices now.
Yeah, I missed out on the amiibo edition and the collector's edition with the amiibo, and apparently, fucking Unreal 3 days ago got an amiibo edition because they apparently restocked, and I was like, what the fuck? I can't find them anywhere. I still can't find them anywhere. I tried getting the Japanese amiibo edition. It's sold out too already. So it's like, fuck.
Damn.
I just wanted that Mega Man amiibo, god damn it. But whatever. Speaking of Mega Man and Devil May Cry, The collector's edition comes with a Mega Buster.
Yeah. So I would like to point out that they showed a bunch of other Nero arms, and one of them is a fork.
Yeah, the fork looks fucking hilarious.
I can't wait. And they all have unique abilities, so I'm interested to see how his arm works, and see if they make a cheeky reference to Metal Gear Solid.
You know what they you know what they should have done? I don't know if they did it or not, but one of the arms should be the fucking I know this is going to be, I don't know how they'd work this into the game, but it could be something fun that they could do later on down the line. But the oh god, what's the name of that game? Bionic Commando, the Bionic Commando arm thing.
Yeah. Or like an Azure hand. So you have like from Azure's Wrath, or there's another one I was thinking of too. Like just if they can give Nero a Mega Buster, then there's so many other things that they could, or like God Hand or something. Like some of that type of stuff. I'm really interested to see. I'm actually more excited about the fork. I really want to see what the fork does. Even if it's a joke weapon, I don't care. It's just interesting.
So I know we've been talking about weird anime realistic stuff, but you know what else is weird anime realistic stuff? Arc System Works Kill la Kill game.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
But I'm interested in Kill la Kill, but I thought you were going to go into Hyper Force.
Oh, I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm interested in this game.
I
have to just say,
Jump Force, sorry.
I have to just say, like, I don't know how Arc System Works does it. How they can make 3D anime look so good, but man, Kill la Kill looks the Kill la Kill game looks so fucking good, and this time they're doing it in a weird, in the other perspective, kind of like how. You know, like
it looks like it's gonna play like some of the Naruto games.
Yeah,
like the Namkai Banto and like Naruto Ninja Storms.
Now, normally I'm not a fan of those games, but this one, holy crap, I kind of really want this one. And not just because it's Kill la Kill, just because like it looks really good and it looks like it's more fast paced than some of those other games, and we're not gonna get it for a while, Ari, because it looks like it's far from being done.
Yeah, well, when it's done, it's done. But I mean, I'm after seeing like Dragon Ball FighterZ and what Guilty Gear has done. Take all the fucking time in the world. You make fucking amazing.
Our System Works is nuts.
Games. Yeah, they've got like, and that's why I was like, I was sort of hoping that they would make like a Hero Academia game, but.
Well,
we can only hope every once in a while. I mean,
the My Hero Academia game
is
going to be the same kind of fighting style, but it's not made by them. It's made by another company.
I know. But there's this sense of disbelief that obvious. First and foremost, it's a 0 out of 10 until I see fucking Mina in that game, and it doesn't look like we're gonna get her. But we get Dobby because everybody wants to play it. They need to have villains, so yeah, Fire Guy, Blue Fire Guy, but no Mina. My sweet pink acid goddess will never make it into the video game. But don't worry, Proppy's in there.
Or as Vegeta calls calls her Majin Buu's daughter.
Majin Buu's daughter, yeah.
Just a quick anime thing because you mentioned Jump Force. They announced Yusuke and Toguro are going to be in the game. So Yusuke doesn't look that Uncanny Valley like Goku or some of the other characters look like. He actually looks normal. But like,
but see, the thing is like if you look at, I think it was Grant, Master WGS retweeted this shot of him, and they put like one of those like anime heads, those things that some Japanese cosplayers use. Like they have it's its own thing where they have like an anime head like mask on and just like their regular school clothes and stuff like that. It looked like that, and it freaked the shit out of me. I was like, I already hate porcelain dolls. Like, I have like a small phobia for that type of stuff.
Oh,
so like haunted dolls, porcelain dolls. I just
never listen to my brother and me, because they have a segment called Haunted Doll Watch.
Oh, God, no. Just no. Everything, all the nope. I think I was traumatized by that weird that like, that marionette, or no, it wasn't a marionette, it was a hand puppet on Goosebumps back when I was a kid. That guy that he was like he had like the orange hair and stuff like that and a suit, but he was able to walk around himself, and he was trying to like murder kids. He had like 3 episodes dedicated to him in Goosebumps, but
wait, I know what you're talking about now. Oh fuck, yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, and I'm fairly sure when I was little, when I watched those, now I would probably laugh at it, but at the same time, there must be some residual fear for porcelain mannequin and, like talking puppets and shit like that. I just don't like it. And that's the thing, is I see that with those Japanese heads, on top of the fact that a lot of the characters look odd. Like Naruto looks okay. Goku looks weird because, I'm never going to get used to the fact that his clothing is way too over designed. Like, you can see the fabric and the weaves and everything. He just looks weird. And like, I can't even imagine trying to beat someone as Light Yagami or fucking Yami Yugi, for Christ's sakes.
Like, you remember back when you had a stream, you were streaming that One Piece game, and there was that creepy child?
The One Piece game, where I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And I just saw a picture of Luffy from that game, and I got flashbacks to that. I was like, what?
Well, at least Luffy, he's supposed to be made out of rubber, so he's actually the least weird looking one, except when he gets like ultra buff.
Mm-hmm.
When he has that ultra buff mode
fourth gear.
Yeah. Where now it looks weird, and now I'm like, okay, yeah, no, the art style does not do this justice. I mean, I can see the art style being really, really good in very dramatic moments. Sort of like, when All Might does like his United States of the Smash, and it does that, like, you really feel the visceral inked lines and like the smashing where everything sort of gets distorted and stretched. Like, I have a feeling that art style is going to look really, really good when they do crazy shit. But in regular gameplay, it's going to feel like I'm smacking 2 action figures together. Right? You know how whenever you get an action figure, or you look at an action figure and you're just like, there's just something, it just doesn't look like it should. That's why we like figures and stuff like that, where they're like designed and sculpted to look almost identical, rather than actually getting an action figure with, mass production quality to it. But yeah, we'll see.
Dude. Can I just take a few seconds to talk about Earth Defense Force Iron Rain?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so just a heads up. This one is not made by the main team that makes the main EDF games. This is made by the sub-team. They also made, I think this is made by the European team. They also made Insect Armageddon, which was a more military style one than having, the wing divers who fly around with jetpacks and shoot laser beams. So this is it feels like this is going to be like a sequel to that other game. And I know a lot of people don't like Insect Armageddon, but I still like it. I still think it's a fun game, but Iron Rain looks really good. Like, this looks like more of what a PS4 game should look like. Not that EDF 4.1 doesn't look like a PS4 game, but it's an up-resed PS3 game. So that's why, because in EDF 4.1 is just 2025 with all the expansions and plus more DLC that they added. So it is just an up-res port, basically. But this is like a new game with like it looks like almost a new engine, and it is different from the mainline EDF games, but like I still really want to play it. It looks really good. So there's not much to say. It's coming out exclusively for PS4 in 2019. So it's not coming out for a while. And EDF 5 is still in development, so this is, I think, the stopgap game while EDF 5 is still being developed. But even though a lot of people are already saying they don't like the way it looks, I like the way it looks, and I actually kind of want to play it. So, but then again, I also liked the other spin-off game, so who knows what'll happen in the long run. But yeah, that's another one. I know, like, I don't know if you've played any of the EDF games, but I love them. Like, they're really fun games.
I think the most I've ever really played one, or I think I may have watched you and Corey play them when he was over one time, where you're just like, here, let me show, because I was actually interested to see what it was like. So you're like, hey, me and Corey, well, why don't we play it and just show him? So I watched you guys for.
I will say like EDF 4.1 is really fun, but like the EDF games have never been like graphical, like. They've always kind of looked, the graphics have always looked kind of crappy, but again, like, I'm not really a huge stickler for graphics on games. So, whatever that. And the nice thing about EDF 4.1 is it's online, so you can play it online, which you can only do with, I think, 4 and 2. I don't know if they said anything about the online for this one, but I mean, it's interesting because this one's going to look different than any of the other games in the series. And it looks like it's going to have different enemy types, because most of the EDF games you fight ants, giant ants, spiders, sometimes robots. This one looks like it's going to be more alien-y, like more like freaky looking aliens than like just giant ants and like bugs and stuff like that. So I'm heavily interested. This is a series that, you know what, if it wants to take a chance on something, go ahead, because with EDF's one of those things that you know what you're getting, but they add like a whole bunch of features to it to expand it out. But really, to somebody who's not versed in the series, it just looks like you're shooting giant ants for most of the part. So the fact they're taking it in a new direction looks really cool. Just while EDF 5 is still in development hell, so
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no, I've said the same thing. It's the same thing with Dynasty Warriors. Like, you look at it on the outset, and it looks a lot like pressing X, 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 triangle special, you know? It's like, haha! Like, it's pretty much what you do a lot of the time. So yeah, no, it's not that I'm not interested in the series. It's just a lot of other games that I'm not too, like, because I'm not too into it, or I've never really been interested. Like, hell, I really like Monster Hunter, but I still haven't picked up Generations Ultimate, and I really don't feel like any urge to really pick it up right now. Like, I hardly play World as it is.
Yeah.
So
I actually just been playing World
hop
this
into
weekend.
A game that has like 40 times the amount of content, but like also is just like the ultimate of ultimate Monster Hunters of like the old school variety. I just don't have the time for that right now, especially since I'm playing an MMO already. So like, it's just one of those things.
Yeah. But we have to talk about the biggest announcement of TGS 2018. Shadow the Hedgehog is coming to Sonic Forces.
Hey, finally. Finally, his DLC, his fucking DLC is in my Sonic Forces box saying, it's coming. He's gonna be here, but he never showed up. So he's finally coming. Oh my god, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I was like, really? Really, guys? We're doing this?
Oh man, they wanted to wait. They wanted to wait till they showed it, till TGS to fucking show it off, I guess. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I guess. Whatever, it's fine. I mean, it makes more sense that we're be Shadow's compatriot, because we use guns. Like, our OCs use this like Mega Buster-esque type gun. Like, so I'm like, why are we following Sonic? Like, he's not really a mentor in this case. Shadow would be, since he uses guns, I guess.
They also announced that Monster Hunter Stories is getting Legend of Zelda DLC. I haven't played Stories yet, but I want to. When it came out, it was another one of those, I'm playing so many other games and I bought too many other games.
It's a lot different, though. It's not. Yeah, it's sort of like Explorer, like Final Fantasy Explorer.
Yeah, you tame like a monster and you play with them. But I think in this one you get Epona as your monster.
Oh, that'd be neat.
So I that's another bonus for anybody who has Monster Hunter Stories, which I do want to play. It came out at a bad time.
So many games.
It came out at a bad time, and there's too many games. Yeah. Not enough time. That's most of the TGS stuff I cared to talk about. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Nothing. Like I said, nothing really sticks out. My biggest takeaway was watching a lot of the gameplay. I mean, there was more footage of Resident Evil Remake shown off as well. where it seems that they are doing the branching storylines where if you play as Claire, you play as Leon, they're different stories. I don't know if it's going to be like the original where it's like, if you play Leon A, you play Claire B, or vice versa, right? So if you pick Claire at the beginning, you play through the entire game, and then you could start again, but you would play what Leon was doing while Claire was doing the main story. They haven't really released that. They did show Ada, and she's looking very Carmen Sandiego. She's not just like in like this sexy revealing dress. They actually put a coat on her, so it actually makes more sense, I guess, in the context. It seems like the game is going to revolve a lot around Birkin more, rather than he just sort of be like a boss that sort of pops up and you're just like, oh right, yeah, that guy that infused himself with the G virus.
Man, I wish you could have been on the RCG podcast, because when they talked about Resident Evil 2 remake, I was just like, I got nothing to talk about, guys. I can't really.
Yeah, because you haven't really played.
I haven't played it, no, and I'm gonna wait till the remake comes out to play Resident Evil 2, because then I can just play the new one when it comes out.
But like that's a lot of it's like stuff that like it's whenever they show story stuff off, I'm like, well, we already know like a lot about the story. Like, unless they're going to be changing major plot points, which it doesn't look like they are from like some of the stuff, other than like a couple of new set pieces. Like in the original, Leon doesn't get saved by Ada when he's getting attacked by a dog, right? Like that doesn't happen in the original game, but that's sort of a new sort of introduction to the character. I want to see a lot more gameplay. That's why the Claire gameplay trailer that came out like a little while ago, like before TGS, where you saw her face off against Birkin and stuff like that, that was more intriguing to me, because that's sort of the stuff that I want to see. I want to see like boss combat. I want to see how like scary and dark the game is going to be compared to its, well, obviously back in the PS1 era, they couldn't just make a game dark like that. Because then we'd be like this character model wandering around a dark screen.
You wouldn't be able to
really
see
do
anything.
Ambiance. Yeah, you couldn't do ambiance properly with stilled backgrounds. So I'm really interested to see how they transform the police station into a really scary scenario. It's like what they did with the remake of Resident Evil 1. Where they turned this, like, if you look at the screenshots from the PS1 director's cut of Resident Evil 1, the mansion looks as if it's lit by, like, fucking floodlights.
Yeah, I did notice that, because I have played a bit of the remake. I was actually recording some videos for it, but then my footage ended up looking terrible, so I have to redo it. I was doing it with Unreal and streaming it to him and recording it at the same time, so it was a mess. But it was a mess. But yeah, like I did notice
the ambiance changed the game.
I did notice that it's darker, and it actually, like, the lighting makes more sense in the remake than it does in the original game, because I've seen lots of footage of the original game, even though I haven't played it. But like I never thought to look for things like that until I was actually playing it. So, that's something I definitely noticed, especially in the PS4 version of the first game's remake, because everything is
the
up-res,
details. Yeah.
So lighting effects are going to work better, and certain things are going to look clearer, things like that. So, and
I'm glad that they're not showing too much of some of the other like enemy types, like the variants. Like one of the biggest things in Resident Evil 2 was the liquor reveal. As you walk into this one hallway, it goes into an FMV, whether you're playing as Claire or Leon. And I think if you're in either Leon A or Claire A, you go into this hallway and there's a liquor on the ceiling, and it goes into FMV, and your character looks up, and this is the first time that creature was ever in the series. And it's like, that is not a zombie. That is, what the hell is that? And it was fast. It had like moves that were just crazy, and I hope that they don't show the liquor off in trailers. I want to feel that new experience when I play the game for the first time. I guess the only other big thing, because I spoke about it in our last, like our E3 thing, is Kingdom Hearts 3 got another trailer.
Yeah, they showed off Big Hero 6.
which showed off Big Hero 6, yeah. So that's really cool. I wanna hang out with Baymax as Sora and crew. I want to see the interactions between Donald and Baymax. That's probably going to be fucking hilarious. But like, that's more par for the course. I'm getting to a point where I don't want to see any more of Kingdom Hearts 3 until it comes out. Like, because really, I feel like we're getting oversaturated with like, look at all this cool stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, yeah, can you maybe not let me have any whimsical moments in this game at this point? You know, so I mean, they're doing a relatively good job at keeping the story relatively hidden, but at the same time, the Kingdom Hearts story is fucking convoluted as it is. So, you know, Nomura being Nomura.
Exactly.
So I'm curious, but I kind of just want to either release the game or just hold off and give us a launch trailer and that's it. We don't need to see any more because it's coming out in January. It's already eating into the time that I wanted to spend on Resident Evil Remake.
I was going to say, are you, like, if they show you any more Kingdom Hearts stuff, are you going to buy Resident Evil 2 Remake instead?
See, I'm getting to that point. Like, I think maybe if they do release more trailers with other worlds or something like that, I'm just not going to watch them now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be like, and then if someone's like, oh, did you see that cool thing in the trailer? I'm like, nope, I'm waiting to see that cool thing in the game when it comes out, if it ever does. Right? Because that's what it feels like. It's like they're going to show me the entire game that they said they were going to make, but then they just made a movie.
Yeah.
Right? That's the scary thing. Like, it sounds like Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be a long game. So, like, just, like, story-wise, on top of, like, gameplay-wise, they're going to try and make this mother load of a game just to sort of, you know, I guess the anticipation and the wait.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's supposed to be longer than Kingdom Hearts 2, and if you play Kingdom Hearts 2 your first time through and you watch all the cutscenes and you just do things like that was like a 70+ game, I remember, for me personally. My first playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2. So it's just like, okay. All right, yeah. I gotcha. I get you. Please just don't show me anymore. Like, I guess show me fucking Leon call himself Squall. He's like, my name isn't Leon, it's Squall. Then I'll watch a trailer. But he won't do that.
No, he's like, my name's not Leon, and then he pulls his face back, and it's his old hair.
His eye, Dio. Yeah, if you put a Dio
Squall
in it, then okay, I'll watch the trailer just so I can understand why a JoJo character is in it.
It's JoJo, right?
Yeah. So he's a Joestar.
He's a Joestar.
Right. Gotcha.
So Leon is now a Joestar.
Yes, exactly. Sora.
Oh, man.
It would explain so much.
Cannot wait. I don't have to wait that much longer. Only 2 weeks, and then JoJo Part 5 starts. Yay.
There you go. But that, like I said, that's all really from TGS.
Yeah.
I guess it's exciting for me.
The one thing I want to mention before we finish off, I know we're going a long time here, but the one thing that we didn't talk about is the PlayStation Classic.
That's true. Yeah, that was announced.
They've only announced 4 games for it, and you can pre-order it right now for $100 American.
See, I'm so happy that I have my own PlayStation Classic. It's called the PS3 and my PlayStation.
That's what a lot of people are saying, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
gosh,
this one is like, I mean, it was hard enough for me to justify the NES and SNES classics, to be honest. It's even harder for me to justify the PlayStation one until we get to see more games. Because if it has like an RPG, if it has Xenogears in it, then yes, I'll probably pick one up.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It has to have something substantial
It won't have Xenogears.
It won't.
It'll have Final Fantasy VII.
It does. They've already announced that game.
It does.
They've only announced 4 games.
What are the 4?
Okay, so let me just bring it up here because I forgot to pull it up.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VII is one.
Okay, so it's supposed to have 20 games come with it, but they've only announced 4 of the games. They've announced Final Fantasy VII, and let's see here. Tekken 3.
Tekken 3.
I think.
Oh, that's that. Those are some frightening cutscenes. I don't know if you should allow kids to see those things these days.
Jumping Flash, which is a cool one that I think that they added. And I can't remember the name of the racing game that they added into it.
Oh, one of the Gran Turismo.
Oh, sorry, they announced 5 games. Sorry, Final Fantasy 7, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer 4, Tekken 3, and this one you might like, Wild Arms.
Hey, the first one.
That's why I might get it.
Wild Arms 2. Wild Arms 2 is the better game.
I know, but like that's one of the things that might make me get it because it has Wild Arms.
Yeah. Finally get you into the series.
I have 3.
Yeah, 3 is great. 3 is the best. Personally, I could definitely say that if people say I like 2 the best, totally understand. But 3 is my personal favorite.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of sucks is the controllers aren't DualShock. So they're either not going to include games that required DualShock, or they're going to offer a different controller at launch, which is kind of scummy.
Okay, you know what? If I can plug my PS4 controller into it, I'm okay. If there is an alternate, like, just say you can plug in, instead of playing with the original ones that it comes with it, you could put your PlayStation 4 in, and you can get the DualShock thing. I'm totally fine with that. But if they make like exclusive controllers, this is why we do have to speak about the Nintendo Online Service before we wrap up here. But like, you know, because they also announced those NES controllers, like Joy-Cons. But like that's the thing, is like they tried to do something cheeky with that. I'm gonna be really
It's hard to see, but it looks like they used some kind of special connector. Or they could be USB ports. It's hard to see because the angles they showed, they didn't show good viewing angles for this thing. It's hard to tell.
It's a little bigger than the average size hand too. Like it looks like you can carry it with one hand, which is pretty good for a system.
But I don't know. Like they just kind of like dropped this during their conference in TGS, and I heard about it like basically right away. But, I mean, this is a wait and see thing. You can pre-order it now, and apparently Sony has addressed the fact that the NES and SNES classics were hard to get, and that they're going to be making, apparently, a lot of these. So, because they're anticipating people are going to want them.
Yeah.
Unlike Nintendo, but this is still a wait and see for me. Because, well, like, the promise of having Jumping Flash and Wild Arms in there is nice. Those are the only 2 games that I'm just like, I already own those other games. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. See, that's the thing, is like I have all those games. Actually, I don't have Ridge Racer, but I'm not.
Ridge
a
Racer 4
fan.
is whatever. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing.
Racing game. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the better racing games on the PlayStation, but
yeah. I'm amazed that it's not like Gran Turismo, the first one.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna put it on there, or maybe there's some kind of licensing issue. Who knows? In the long run.
Yeah. There's all, especially when it comes to Gran Turismo, because they had a lot of licensed cars. Whereas in Ridge Racer, it's just like, here's our random buggy 3000 Ridgemaster.
Honestly, Jumping Flash kind of surprised me, and now that I know that Wild Arms is on it, that surprises me too. Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining, but we'll have to wait and see. They've only shown 5 of the 20
if Wild
games.
Arms, maybe Xenogears may end up on it.
I mean, if Xenogears is on it, just take my money. Like, that's basically what it is.
It's worth the price of admission right there, because it's way cheaper than buying a regular copy of it now. I mean, I have one, but like, that's just because I'm a collector.
It is a PlayStation. Right? There is a PlayStation 1 Classics version of it, but this will just be a thing that I can take on the go kind of thing and plug it to a TV.
Exactly.
Like if I go to
portable Xenogears. Portable Xenogears is so good until you get to disc 2, and then it turns into a giant cutscene, and then you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Man, that was one of those games where a lot of people always look at it and they say, man, this was such a great game, but it took a giant dump in its second half. Like, it's sort of like watching Evangelion, right? Where you're watching it, you're like, man, I'm with this, I really like this, and then, okay, what, why, whoa, okay, what did I just watch?
Why did everyone turn into Orange Tang?
Yeah. Wait, it's his mom, but a clone? But there's many clones? What?
And the mecha's his mom, but also the clone girl is...
The clone is... Ray is also... It's just... Getting the fucking robot.
Yeah. But yeah, that brings me just one. I know I'm extending this out for no reason, but that brings me one question I never thought of. I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't re-released the other Xeno games on Nintendo platforms with Xeno.
See, this is the thing. A game that is ripe for a trilogy HD pack is the Xenosaga series, where it's volume 1 through 3.
I don't have volume 3. I only have volumes 1 and 2, so I'd love that.
Yeah. Like that, I mean, there has to be a demand,
and because
for it,
that'd be a nice tie-in for their Xenoblade games.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see down the line. They've surprised us with many things in this past little while, so who knows? Those games, I don't feel like they've aged well, though.
Yeah.
They were good back in the day, like on PlayStation 2, and you sort of, any fault that they had, they were just sort of like, oh, it's just, regular standard PS2 RPG.
Yeah, they are kind of standard in terms of RPGs, but I still like them. I still turn them on every once in a while and say, I still like this.
Except for Xenosaga 1. Not that it's actually, I'd say, probably the best story-wise, but man, that game, if you didn't grind in the early stages of the game, or you didn't pick up this like random NPCs, like little piece of information that allows you to unlock some of the junctioning stuff, you get screwed halfway through.
If I ever do,
where you get
I've been saying I want to do Xenosaga as like a Let's Play at some point. That's probably going to be a stream game, because I know if I play that, you or somebody else is going to say, Zero, you're missing the thing. You have to get this.
Yeah. Oh man. Those, like I said, the PlayStation 1 and 2 RPGs are like where I got my love for video games, like crazy. I mean, platformers, like 3D platformers, like obviously like things like Banjo-Kazooie and stuff like that. Like I share that sentiment with Blondie quite a lot. But really, when it comes to old school Japanese RPGs, man, Suikoden 3, those were those long nights of playing Suikoden 3. And then on the side, playing Metal Gear Solid and all that type of stuff, and Devil May Cry, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I remember I wish I could do this now. My, 12 to 13 hour play session of Devil May Cry 3.
Damn.
When it first came out. Oh, man. I wish you could still do that. I don't think my body could even
The last time I did a long gameplay session was when Fallout 4 came out. I think I wasted an entire Saturday playing that game. I think when I was I stopped to obviously eat and go to the bathroom and stuff. But I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I've been playing this for a few hours. Time to go to bed. Oh, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah. See, I did a 12-hour stream once of me playing through all of Detroit of Become Human. I was doing my playthrough to get one of the trophies of make sure everybody lives at the end. And I played that game for, I think it was 13 hours and 10 minutes or something like that. I remember after I turned off the stream and I turned off the PlayStation, I actually collapsed. I went into my room and I just collapsed. I was like, I should never do this again unless I prepare myself for this. When people say, oh, you should do a 24-hour stream, I'm like, man, I gotta really work up.
You gotta get the IV ready.
Yeah, I gotta get the shit sock ready so I can shit in a sock so I don't leave the computer.
Shit sock.
Because no one likes a chair stream, right?
Well, see,
this is a joke that me and my FC mates make all the time. That's all right. We're about to raid. Get your shit sock ready because we're not leaving for the next 2.5 hours. If you gotta poop, go in the sock.
Shit sock. And then you just tie it up and fling it out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit sock guy.
Dispensed. But anyway, like I said, the last quick topic, there's not a lot to really talk about it, though I have some grievances with what is on offer at the moment. This is what I'm saying when it comes to the Nintendo online service.
Yes.
For what they are offering right now versus all the electronical problems, which I'm okay with, that's just something that, it's the same thing that happens with MMOs and stuff when they release new expansion, like Battle of Azeroth, and when Stormblood came out for Final Fantasy XIV, there was all types of problems when it came to some of the duty machine wasn't working, that type of stuff. So I can understand when you're not getting to be able to stream some of your NES games or download them or anything, but to take away so many features from games that are already out. I'm not talking about games in the future, right? That have come out afterwards, or for people that are picking up Switches now that didn't have this like free online service. That it was just, I guess this was Nintendo saying is like, well, you know, you were always on borrowed time, and to me, I'm totally fine with that if it wasn't a year and a half.
Yeah,
of like true. Splatoon 2 being out, and now like you actually see the messages in Splatoon 2 before the servers shut down, so they could implement the online. Where people are like, I'm sorry, I can't afford to play online anymore, and you're seeing multiple messages in Splatoon 2 popping up saying, you know, like, Bye gaming community, I loved you, but I can't afford you, type of stuff popping up, and you're just like, man, they should have just left ARMS and Splatoon 2 free.
At the same time, though, I'm like, if you can afford to get a Switch in games, you can't afford $20 a year, like.
Oh, I understand that. Like, that's the silver lining, right? To me personally, I'm like, well, at least it's not like, you know, the $70 that we pay for PlayStation
so stupid.
Plus or Xbox Live, and then if you play for things like PlayStation Now, for example, that's an extra like $20
exactly,
you know, every year, right? So it's like, it's interesting, though. There is that little caveat with PlayStation Now that came out. Just as a side note, where you're actually going to be able to download the games onto your system.
What?
Instead of having to stream them.
What? Are they going to actually add more games, like PS2
They're
games?
going to add more games, and you're going to be able to play them offline with the service, so you can download them to your system and play them offline.
See, you know what? Sony was listening to our podcast, man. They knew.
I know. They knew. They heard our rage, and we're like, I see what you want, and we got it. And I'm like, if this is how it works and how it's promised, I may just, you know, sign up for, you know, a month or two just to sort of see how it plays out and see if I'm interested. Because like there's certain games, if I could get like higher res or easier ways to capture them than fucking plugging in my PS2, which is already in like a weird fucking loop of chords and shit. I'm interested. You've piqued my interest if this is what I'm capable of doing, if I can play offline and I don't have to stream.
I just wish there were more PS2 games on there. There's only like a few. Like,
yeah. But that's the big thing coming out from TGS about PlayStation Now, that they're doing a big overhaul of it. So cross fingers.
Yeah, I hope they just send in a buttload of PS2 games, because that would do it for me.
Yeah. And then but going back to Nintendo, I have a feeling that if we give this thing a year, great things could come out of it. But for right now, it's like, all right, we just put a paywall up for the online and a bunch of games, and here's some Nintendo games that hardly stream properly and are broken. Yeah. So it has that bad taste in it, because like when they showed it off, like, you'd think, oh, well, this is the direct where they show off all the interesting features, all the things to come, all the things that are going to happen. And apart from the most adorable fucking cute, like, 3D Mario and Bowser Jr. doing stuff, like, what else do they offer? Oh, saved cloud games? Your saved games in the cloud?
You know what? Here's something that really sucks about that. Woo. So, the moment your subscription runs out, your cloud saves are gone.
Oh, they delete them?
They get rid of them right away. There's no grace period.
Wow.
And if you don't renew your subscription, those NES games that they give you, the local game saves get deleted if you don't renew it right away.
Damn.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm like, ooh, cool. They're actually giving us different NES games. And then I heard that, and I'm like, what about people who don't use credit cards? Like, I mean, for adults, for people like us, yeah, credit card's fine. But what if your credit card bounces? Like,
or it gets, like, for example, my credit card got compromised once, and I had to change all my numbers, but it fell on a period before I was able to go into my PlayStation and change it. So it skipped my month of PlayStation. So I had to go in and manually reset it and get everything all squared away. But man, if there's no grace period, not even like a week's grace period, man,
it's fucked.
That's scary.
What if you're,
that's really
and I'm
scary.
just thinking of other situations, like what if your credit card, the day you get it, this would be really irresponsible if you do this, but the day you get it is the day a year from now your credit card expires. You're fucked. Like,
yeah.
How do you, like, unless you know to fix it that same day, like you're screwed. You could lose all your save data.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's in the rare case that your Switch goes down before you renew, so all the save data either gets re-uploaded after that. Like, I mean, I can see the logistics of it, them trying to protect their servers and to reduce the amount of load and save data that they need, but that's sort of like saying that if my computer crashes and I don't renew my subscription to Final Fantasy XIV, that my character gets deleted.
And I mean,
like, that's scary.
The thing that's really weird about this is that this is the same company that does Pokemon Bank, which is a cloud-based service for Pokemon, and they give you a year to renew your subscription. A year before they start deleting your stuff. But this, like, if, like, they need to fix that cannot be, obviously, like, it's not going to do it right away, like, it's like, if you don't do it 10 minutes within it, it's going to get rid of it, but, like, I think the grace period is less than 24 hours. I think that's it. That's bad. Like, they're going to offer cloud saves, I'm just not going to use that feature, because I'm like, I'd rather take my SD card out of my Switch, back it up to my computer, and have a copy that way. Like,
well, see, that's the thing, is like, do you have to, like, just say I decide I'm going to use cloud save instead, right?
See, I don't know.
Does that mean that I don't get a physical save anymore? I only use the cloud save.
See, I don't know, because that's the thing I'm always confused with PlayStation, because every game asks me if I want to make a cloud save, and I choose no, because I like having a local copy, and then I copy it manually over to PlayStation.
You don't have to. I actually have mine to auto-upload, but mine makes, like, if I make a save file, for example, it saves it on my PlayStation, and then it uploads it via cloud, but it doesn't do it every time I save.
Yeah.
It will do it at, like, 3 a.m. in the morning when my PlayStation's in rest mode. So my cloud saves are usually about 3 to 4 days behind. So they actually end up being helpful in certain situations where I accidentally save over something, and I can actually, like, reload.
I've got to learn how to set that up properly, because that's the whole reason I haven't turned it on, is because I thought it makes it so you only save on cloud, and I don't like that. Yeah,
like, for example, our playthrough of Final Fantasy 13, right? Because we originally started on my PlayStation, so we used my account to, or we played it on my PlayStation, but used your account and cloud save your stuff on PS3. So whenever we hop back and forth from each other's places, we could always record it and be exactly where we were. It's very similar to that. And, like, it doesn't update or overwrite anything unless I give it permission or it's been a couple of days, and then it just automatically does it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure that out then, because I'd like it to make it so it makes a local copy, then makes a copy online. Like,
yeah, that's how it's working for me.
Okay. Well, I'll have to figure out how to
it's not defaulting to just cloud save.
Yeah.
And I've had my PlayStation run out before, and my cloud saves have stayed there for a week, so though I can't access them, I can't go up and access them.
No, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's scary about this whole Nintendo thing. Like, I don't have the service yet, so I don't know how it's going to work. But, like, that, and just that, like, just the thing with the NES games, like, say they put Final Fantasy on there, and you're, like, near the end of the game, and your Nintendo subscription runs out, there goes your Final Fantasy 1 save, or your Zelda save, or whatever. Like, man, that just sucks.
Yeah. Actually, the good thing about the cloud save, though, if there's a local one and a cloud save, you can actually use it so you don't have to create multiple fucking accounts if you want to play a new game.
Yeah.
you know? True. Like, there's some games like Xenoblade Chronicles, right? I can't play a new game without deleting my entire file. But if I can save my entire file to the cloud, then I can play a new game and delete it, so I can have 2 save files.
Right. Like, that would be cool,
right?
But
But like I said, we both don't have the service, so we don't know. And I'm actually probably gonna wait for a little while. There's not a lot of games that I want to play online. Like I said, I'm not picking up Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, so there's no game on my Switch right now that I play religiously online. It kind of sucks that I can't play Splatoon with you and Blondie until I do it, right?
And I bought Monster Hunter, so I'm probably going to get it eventually. They're doing a 7-day trial, so at least you get 7 days to try it first. So, but
and that's the interesting thing. I think I'm gonna wait for more features to come out, because Nintendo's usually pretty good about this. Is they sort of release a bare bones thing and then they like really jack it up in like the next.
And I'm kind of the same thing. Like I just want like them to fix some of these things, like put a grace period on when of losing these saves, because.
Yeah, give me Super Nintendo and GameCube games.
Like the NES games is nice, and the fact they're giving different ones that are say on an NES Classic or on other things is nice, and then it's nice that they're going to be adding. But like, again, I have some of these games 6 times over. I don't need another copy of Super Mario Brothers. Just Super Nintendo games. That would be a nice one. Super Nintendo games, N64 games maybe, because. I bitch all the time about there's not a good way to record N64 games unless you have virtual console games, because they all it looks like shit when you record them. I would love
even in the S-Video.
Even S-Video, like it looks better, but it doesn't look amazing. Like it just sucks. And here's another thing that sucks. You know those NES controllers they showed off?
Yeah.
That they're doing for the Switch? You can only buy them if you have a subscription. They're order only.
Yeah, I know they're order only.
You have to have a subscription to the Nintendo Online to buy these controllers. Now, I understand that they really only work for the NES games, which is stupid. You should be able to use them on other games. But at the same time, that's really dumb. But I guess
they're trying to combat scalping, but I think that the scalpers would just be like, I'll just buy in bulk.
I would have loved to have those, just have extra Joy-Con style controllers for my Switch, so I can have 4 Joy-Con style controllers.
You know what? It probably actually, because they're order only, that means only one account can order one.
You get them in a pack of 2.
It's the way that they counter scalping, so it's not like somebody could just like pay the $20 for a year and then buy like 20 of these NES things and then sell them to just other people without it, right? So I think like I said, I think it's an anti-scalping thing.
Yeah, that's true.
The purpose I understand, but it's kind of shitty that you can't just go to the store and get them.
For me, like I just wish you could use them in non-NES games, but apparently they're only for the NES games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what really, though, like, other than a couple of indie titles that would, have to, like, for example, Hollow Knight, it only really has, like, a couple of small buttons. Like, you don't need a lot of buttons to play Hollow Knight, but, like, then the game would have to be formatted with that in...
That is true.
That type of controller in its specs. That game's already come out, and if they're really pushing that there's going to be no virtual console, and it's all about subscription-based streaming service, then... Really, it makes more sense to just have these order only type of things.
I guess that's true.
I like the joke that if like they do like N64 ones, that they've got these like gigantic N64 fucking slide things, chargers and stuff like that. And obviously with the GameCube would probably be the biggest selling point for me if they offered GameCube games, because the peripheral for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the actual GameCube plug-in thing, is getting re-released and is apparently backwards compatible with the Wii U,
which is nice because I have the Wii U plug-in.
So like, there's a plug-in for my GameCube games. Give me GameCube games. Like, let me play Luigi's Mansion.
There you go. You'll
Switch.
Have nothing to bitch about.
Yeah, exactly. Let me play the OG Luigi's Mansion on Switch. I'll pay for your $30 service every year. Fuck yeah.
Man. Just
give me a reason.
They need to make improvements.
You've listened to us. You've listened to me before. Do this for me.
See, they only listen to us when we don't call them out directly, when we just bitch and complain about things we wish they do and think they're not listening to us.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
They're very passive aggressive about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But like it's interesting. That's why actually the biggest news for me was the PlayStation Now thing that actually made me go, oh, well, interesting. I'm keeping an eye on you. Whereas the same, like I said, the same silver lining with Nintendo, at least I don't feel as if like this is our service, suck our dicks. Like it really feels like just the building blocks. But it really, if this is what took a year and a half, what have they been doing? Like when I felt that it took this long for the online service to come out, I'm like, they're gonna offer something crazy, like here's like half the GameCube library or something, right? Or like a couple of really high level.
It's not like they can't do it. Like, no. There's even just if they offered the first party GameCube games, they've got those somewhere on they've got those games stored somewhere, obviously. How could some of these remakes happen? But it's like, man, it's like Nintendo has all this stuff to work with, but they just don't want to give it to us, which doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess like Nintendo just doesn't like money. Like, that's the only thing I can think of, because
the only argument that I could think of just off the cusp is the idea that they've always been the company of innovation, right? They always feel like they need to innovate. They need to do the next big thing, right? That's why the Switch and the Wii and even the Wii U and everything like that, where they've had successes and failures and everything like that. Whereas if they always re-release the old games, not to say that they haven't released fucking Mario like hundreds of times at this point, but that type of like trying to go that extra mile for some of those things, if they're not easy, like for example, the stuff that came out on the Wii, they were banking on the fact that a lot of old gamers were now picking up a Nintendo system, because a lot of them skipped the GameCube. Right? But then because the Wii has so much influx, they brought a lot of old school Nintendo fans back on top of, getting new people to come into the gaming sphere. So re-releasing things like Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World, and some of the N64 games was smart. Whereas in now, they probably are like, well, a lot of people have Wiis, they have these things, so that priority level of releasing them is probably lower. Not saying that it isn't smart for them to do, because people will pay for them again, because we're suckers like that. But it's that same mentality that it's probably on the lowest part of the totem pole of like ideas and things that they want to do with their online service. But yeah, the only disappointing thing about it really is the fact that I waited for a year and a half to get half of the online experience games taken away from me, so I could get a small library of NES games and pay to order NES controllers.
Yeah. And it's just like, I remember we were talking about like how they keep renewing the license on Eternal Darkness, for example. Fucking Eternal Darkness. That's one of the GameCube games that's really hard to find, and they're making nothing off of it right now. I'm sure they get quite a few subscriptions if they announce that they had GameCube games, such as Eternal Darkness, available as some of the games you get with your subscription. Like,
hell, you could even bring back Twin Snakes, because Twin Snakes is pretty hard to find now too. Like the remake of Metal Gear Solid, announced that it coincides with Smash Brothers Ultimate, with Snake being back in it.
Exactly, and the same argument is made: is it's not making you anything now. It's not making Nintendo any money right now. It could be, but maybe they just don't think that people want those things, which is hilarious because that's exactly what people are saying they want.
Yeah, but people want Warframe and Fortnite too, and those are money makers. Fortnite pays a nice crisp amount of money to get their game on those consoles, man.
Apparently Reggie plays it.
Oh yeah. His body is always ready.
His body is always Reggie for
Reggie for life.
All right. Well, Guys, we're hitting 2.5 hours here.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. The only other thing I'll talk about is I have started editing the Mega Man 8 review. It's happening. It's coming.
My review is still stuck in YouTube.
Are you still waiting in limbo for that? Can you update us on the situation?
Yeah, so for all the people that haven't been following either Zero Stream or my stream or me on Twitter or anything like that, is my review of Ruby Grim Eclipse, which is the Rooster Teeth's gaming, like it's a game that Rooster Teeth Gaming made by like 7 people. I created a review for it, and I uploaded it to my my gaming channel. I'm not going to call it a Let's Play channel more. It's my gaming channel. And I got copyright struck by quote unquote Rooster Teeth Incorporated. I was aghast because Rooster Teeth is pretty big on its platform of like having people like talk about their content and do videos and other things like that. So they're very open to use their content. So I was pretty frustrated. It was like, why specifically is this? It's sort of like a curse that I have when it comes to YouTube. But I decided I was going to reach out because I did a content claim and I was immediately rejected. So I was like, I'm going to reach out to Rooster Teeth on Twitter and say, so what's the deal with this? Is there something that I did wrong or anything like that? And the guy that I guess their multimedia supervisor or whoever was managing the Twitter account was like, I haven't heard very much about this. Let me look into this. And he got back to me about a day later saying, yeah, that's not us. That is somebody on YouTube impersonating us. Because he wanted me to send him screenshots and everything like that, just to sort of show what's going on. And he's like, that's not us. We need to get in contact with YouTube and we'll get back to you. So it turns out that somebody or some buddies are impersonating this. And this is a flaw with YouTube. Is anybody can create a company and claim that your content is theirs. And it's up to you to prove that it's yours, right? And even if you're using footage of other people, a lot of the times they create these fake companies, then they get the ad revenue from them, or they block them entirely, so they can extort the person that is creating content. And a lot of the times these smaller companies target smaller YouTube channels due to the fact that a lot of them, don't know how the system works too well as it's intimidating. Getting like, if the real Rooster Teeth came after me, I would be frightened. Like that's a legal team. There's a company, right? It's like if Capcom went after you, Clay, right? Mm-hmm. There's just this feeling that a smaller YouTuber that doesn't have 1 million or plus views would just cower in fear and just let that video be monetized. Yeah. So they just take your money. They just take your well-earned money for a review.
But a lot of these people don't think like we do. Like if my Mega Man 8 review gets claimed, I'm going to be tweeting at Mega Man like, what the fuck, man? Like,
yeah. And so I decided to privately message Rooster Teeth. They're handling it, but they're trying to get ownership of this fake company that is using their name just with like an underscore or an extra apostrophe.
And that's the thing too, because that's illegal. So
yeah. And so now YouTube needs to do an internal thing, but the problem is they can't just shut it down. Mm-hmm. They have to go through the proceedings. So my video is stuck in a limbo state. At least it happened. It happened before my video went completely public. Mm-hmm. Like it was public, but only for maybe about an hour or two.
Yeah.
Until it was copyright stricken.
The good thing about this whole system is that when the grace period is over for your counterclaim, did you counterclaim?
I counterclaimed it, yeah.
When the grace period is over from your counterclaim, unless that person intends to sue you, your video goes back online. So essentially, because it's basically you have to fill out, say, in good faith that you own like whatever you do with the content in the video. Like it's fair use and whatever. So if the person who is in, I forget the word to use, but is claiming to be Rooster Teeth, blocks your video again, they've already gone into litigation with you at that point. So, and I don't think somebody using their name in that way is going to take you to court of something they don't own. So,
yeah,
I think you're pretty
oh
safe
yeah,
there.
no, this is a scheme. Yeah, this is a scheme that they're preying on younger YouTubers. They're probably preying on people that don't have a lot of subscribers, so they can just get away with stealing money and ad revenue from smaller creators. And just because I've been in the game so long and I follow a lot of influential people, I'm like, I know the steps to take now. When it comes, like, the only thing that I can't do is take steps against Japanese companies, because they just got a ban wall when it comes to that type of stuff, and that's just that, right? Language barrier be damned, and worldwide law and everything be damned as well. But that's the thing, is like, I expect that out of my abridging, for example. I expect a copyright claim to fall on those things. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting it for a review, and especially something from Rooster Teeth. So that's why I immediately got in contact. I didn't make it public. I thought, no, I'll just contact them, and they must get tons of people. But apparently, after investigating, a lot of people have been hit by this. Like, one of the guys that I watch, I think his name is Eruption Fang. He does a lot of like Ruby theory videos, and a lot of his videos were hit by the same fake company. So it's interesting to see. But like I said, it's stuck in sort of a limbo state. But I don't particularly want, like, the Rooster Teeth guys say, well, just remove it and re-upload it. And I'm just like, yeah, but if I do that, it may get another strike, because this gave me a strike on my account. So if I do that and it gives me another strike because the automated bot is garbage, then I have 2 strikes on my account, and then any other problems that I have in the next 3 months as I'm uploading new reviews and new hot takes or whatever, this is what could possibly happen, is my account could just go down again. I'd lose another account.
I just think it's hilarious that you got a strike for this, because I've uploaded videos, tons of videos that got claimed, but I never got a strike for them. It was just they claimed it, and they either blocked it in certain places, or they took the revenue from it. That was basically the only difference. Hell, when they were doing it to my abridged channel, I was okay with it, because I'm like, yeah, if the original anime company wants to make money off of my dumb parody, go ahead. But like, with video game stuff, I've never gotten a strike for it. So that's what seems very odd to me, that that it goes as far, because almost like strikes almost at this point on YouTube are almost non-existent. Like, if you get a strike, it's because you broke a guideline rule. Talk to my anime, my anime abridging parody channel. It's limping. It's not gone, thank goodness, but it's limping on one leg. But like, if you
they chop the feet off of it. But I expect that. See, I expect that out of like a fucking anime parody.
You're more likely to get a strike these days for Logan Pauling than you are for like doing a video game video. So I find it very, very odd that you got a strike for this, because this person who's like pretending to be Rooster Teeth must have filled out some form or something that says the maximum punishment for copyright infringement or something like that.
Oh no, they can manually strike my account. These companies have the power to remove and manually strike me. The strike didn't come from YouTube, it came from them. And that's the scary thing, is not only can a manual strike, so somebody manually searched for Ruby Grim Eclipse reviews, found mine, then manually hit it, and then gave me a strike, because the company said it broke guidelines. So YouTube's automated service said, okay, and it just did it, right? That's how much power the person has. And they always talk about companies not having enough power, that their brands are being misused. Holy shit. As a small YouTuber that has had ups and downs in his career, holy shit, have I been kicked around by all types of companies. Hell, my Inuyasha Bridge series has never been dinged by Viz or even fucking Shonen Jump, or not Shonen Jump particularly, but like,
the original animation company.
TV Tokyo and the original the animation company. It's been like, Media Interactive, which is a polling website. They poll you on. They had 2 polls of Inuyasha, and like, who's the best character? Who would you most want to fight in Inuyasha? That was their 2 polls, and they were able to claim and monetize my abridged videos. Right?
Mhm.
It's like ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous.
They give like users almost no power to fight against it.
I know, like, we'll save this broader discussion, I think, for another podcast. But like, that's where I am with my review right now. Hopefully by the time this goes up, maybe it's all clear.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm in the clear.
Okay, good, because when I recorded the end slate for the Mega Man 8 video, I mentioned your video in the end slate.
Okay, good. So I will let you. I will do it. And if push comes to shove, if removing the video and re-uploading it is the easier course of action, I'll just I'll fiddle with it to see if that will trick some of whatever, like the anti-duplicate bot, because I know that there's a duplicate bot. I've had to do this with a bridge series enough to know that just go in, X a frame or 2 here or there, like shorten it, take out an end slate or put it in a front slate, or shrink the video down or something like that, or just change the bit rate of it. That usually tricks it. But if you try to re-upload the same thing you do, they just remove it and call it a duplicate.
Yeah.
So I have been through this rodeo so many times, I got fucking whiplash. Like,
we were getting to a point where we were getting conspiracy theories, like your room is bugged and Google is watching you.
Google's watching me. Yeah, like
you were talking about getting a VPN.
In the actual bot algorithm, the name Canadian Jutsu is auto ban.
I love this because you're like, man, I need to get a VPN or something.
Yeah, so to mask the fact that I'm uploading from my IP address or something. So, it's conspiracy theory shit. It's not real. I mean, the truth is out there. QX file.
So
theme.
NordVPN, if you want to sponsor us, we have.
I just want to make content on the internet.
We have somebody who would be probably your biggest sponsor right here. So.
Oh my god, I'll hug every single one of you.
And with this code, you can get 15% off. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with that.
Well,
but yeah, that's the update on that. I have finished doing my audio recording for my second review, which is Trauma Team.
Oh yes,
on the Wii.
I want to see that.
You're gonna really enjoy it. Some of the live action skits I have planned for that are they're gold. I have a feeling they're gonna turn out really, really well.
Also, can you talk about what you're doing with that Sims thing?
Oh, right. Yes. So I have been hunkered down. I'll be relatively TLDR. I've been always wanting to get back into The Sims, and it constantly goes on sale on PS4. But I was like, playing The Sims on console seems really fucking weird to me, because I've always played, I play Sims 1 and Sims 2 on PC, and I heard that those console ports were awful. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the PS4 a try the next time I see it go on sale. So I bought it for $30, and I've been playing it. And I decided, well, since I'm playing it, I'll record everything that I'm doing. I'll make, like a small review. So I was like, what would be really cool? I'll make a bunch of the people from RCG, and I'll stick them in the game. Well, not to spoil anything, but Zero's been busy. Zero has been busy. He knows what I'm referring to. But Zero's been busy, and that is going to be the best aside that I'll ever write. Because he's my best friend, and he needs to be taught a lesson.
It's like the complete opposite too.
Of you. Yes, it's the complete opposite of you, which is interesting. But maybe that's the thing, Zero, is I created you in the virtual space, and you have this potential.
All right, then. That's good to know.
And the game understands you have this potential and has rewarded you for it.
You know what they say about AI? It's getting better and better every day, and then eventually the robots are going to take us over. But
take us over, yeah. But if that gives you guys any indication, that's probably going to be That's probably going to be the third review. It's after Trauma Team. I'll probably start working on that.
I can't wait.
Just because of what happened in it. There was a couple other things that I kind of wanted to do first. Because I wanted to remember Death by Degree, the Nina Williams game. I wanted to do that, but I think I may move that over a little bit just to do the Sim thing, just because it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And just the funny shit. Like, poor old Scott. He's not long for this world anymore.
Yeah.
Though it let me show off a different part of the gameplay. Thanks, Scott.
One other thing I just want to mention. I do have Halloween reviews coming up, and one of the games actually, I'm not going to say what it is, but preface, I was given a code by the developer. It's a new game. So look forward to that coming soon as well. But of course, Mega Man 8 is taking all my editing priority right now. So
yeah,
that's going to be...
And I've got to hop back on the Inuyasha 11 train.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yes.
Just to get it out, and then I'll think about continuing it after. It's just one of those things where it needs to be done because it's been recorded for and everything is set. I just need to do it.
You know what they say in Canada? Get her done.
Get her done.
All right. Well, you know what? We're approaching 3 hours here, so I'm just going to stop this. So anyways, guys, for the 100 Base Podcast, I am Zeromaster.
I'm Grenade Juice.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
On the 100 Base Podcast.
Question mark?
Stay frosty. Hashtag?
Wait, hold on. Have you hashtagged your catchphrase yet?
Stay frosty? I don't know if I have. Hashtag stay frosty?
With the question mark, apparently?
yeah, with the question mark. I think the question mark's important.
All right, next time.
I don't know how hashtag work.
Don't be like Vegeta, who figured out what it was the other day.
Well, I know what it is. It's just I haven't really hashed.
But he's also like an old man on the internet, so whatever. Anyways, see you next time, guys.
Wait! I have a Facebook fan page!
Oh my god, you do?
Wait! I have one! Yes! Go there. Like it.
I made it.
Zero made it for me!
So...
And then he gave all ownership to me, and I was like, what the fuck do I do with it?
I also have ownership of it. I can post on your Facebook fan page.
You better fucking not. Or post as Zeromaster or something. I don't know.
Just default, whatever. I'm doing it from the app, so it doesn't give you a lot of options. So, yeah. Anyways, you know our social medias. They're on the screen. Whatever. I'm not repeating it.
Yeah, exactly. But that fan page, that Facebook fan page, it works now. It fucking works.
And what is that Facebook fan page?
It is facebook.com/Canadian Jutsu.
Okay, awesome. Just like everything else of his.
Everything else, just Canadian Jutsu.
Mine's just Zeromaster on Zeromaster LP. Stream twice a week on Twitch, Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's end this podcast already.
Yeah, I do everything all the time, but never.
All right. Goodbye, guys.